Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Thursday at Coffee Talk and Tech. So if you don't know who I am, my name is John Ryan, and I'm Coffee Talk and Tech. Some people say CTT. I don't know. We got a lot of different names going on, but I'm happy to be here. If you don't know what we do here, we talk about tech and we talk about new YouTubing and new streamers and the friction that we have with these things and how we can get past them cost effectively. And so that's what we're all about. So let's go bring in Jeff and see how he's doing. He's my co-host, if you don't know who he is, and I live stream with him on Tuesdays on his channel, and that link is down below in the description, and you can find his channel, and we do that at 9 o'clock Eastern on his channel on Tuesdays, and we do this here on Thursdays. So let's go find Jeff and check him out and bring him into the mix. Hi.
Oh, there he is.
How's it going?
I'm doing well. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah, you sound great. You sound good.
You know, last week you mentioned you like that mic better.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how it sounds tonight, because last week I was running an OBS noise suppression filter on there I didn't know about. So if I have too much room noise, let me know.
All right. Well, you sound okay now. I don't know. I don't
know.
Like there's a problem.
That mic is literally like right here, though. It's really nice. So it's not that far away. I don't know.
Right.
It can be too far away.
Well, so tonight I just want to get into a little bit and see who is in the house as we check it out. So we have,
there's some
people. Of course, my mom. My mom is here. She's always here. And
Yay.
We got Melanie stopping in. I think she's traveling right now, if I'm not mistaken. So thanks for stopping in if you are.
Melanie.
And we got Everyday Tech, Patrick. If you don't know who he is, check his channel out too. And
he's all happy because he made it first.
He made it here. He made it here. He usually comes in late, but I don't care. As long as you come in and say hi, that's all I care about. And he does a live stream on Sundays.
Yeah.
And then we got Robert from Spoke Audio. He's stopping in.
There he is.
Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you. See ya.
Appreciate it. And I want to thank Robert. He had a great video that he put together this week where he had a few of his friends and he spoke highly about him. And I was very fortunate to be one of those people, and he put it together, a great video. And so I thank him again for that. It was really great to see.
That was great. I didn't even know you. I mean, I watched it and I didn't even, you were near the end, I think, with Ash and some other people. And I'm like, oh, there's John. And rightfully so. I was so excited to see you. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to wake up and then all of a sudden find that, I just got up early and all of a sudden there was this video and I'm actually watching it because I watch, his videos that come out weekly or so. And I went to go check it out and I was like very surprised to run into that. So I really appreciate that. It was awesome. It was well put together too.
It was well edited. It was really nice.
And then we got Ed from Flash in the Pan. He says, hi, Jeff. Hi, John. How's it going? How are you doing today? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate that.
Very much.
And I saw 420 Gamer 818 last week when I did my live stream talking to people when I hit the 500 mark with the subscribers. And I was thanking everybody. He jumped on just right when I got raided. So that was kind of interesting to say the least.
The old raid where you had to dump everything.
Yeah, it was crazy. And here's Sammy. How you doing, Sammy? I know Sammy had a stream right before we jumped on, if I'm not mistaken. So
awesome. It
was crazy. But so I just want to get into a little something that I was talking to you about the other day. And if you don't know this, I was shopping this past weekend for a washer and dryer, etc., that kind of stuff. And I explained to you how that all started and where it ended up going. So I did cancel the order that I made in the store. And then I started online with my order. And when I stopped, it was $200 cheaper than when I started it at the store. So numbers were numbers, and I knew that, and so that's why it happened. And this is at Home
I'm glad
Depot.
it's not just me. I'm glad there's other people that deal with this nightmare.
Yeah. So anyways, it didn't stop there. By the time my wife and I were done, it was the washer and dryer and everything in the kitchen. So now
blenders,
it turned
makers.
into the everything, the microwave, the refrigerator, the stove, the dishwasher, and everything is coming in a month or so, or a little bit less. So we'll see how that goes. That was a big surprise, but I couldn't go wrong for the price and everything. So
I mean, it's a little bit of a hassle, but I think for $200, I think it's a great hassle. It wasn't that much of a hassle. I mean, you had to cancel an order and deal with that. It's fine.
So that was crazy. So Robert says, my pleasure. You guys are great. I really appreciate that. That was awesome. And
our pleasure, man.
Melanie says that she just got back from traveling. Okay. So then she had a friend coming to visit, and then I'll be traveling again next week. Crazy month. Well, it's nice to be traveling, I guess, now, since most people weren't traveling for a long time. So that's kind of awesome. It was a really busy out there
season, though. It was pre-pandemic volume. Some records. So who knows?
Yeah, I could tell because I work in the hub of traffic from New York City, and I just could tell this last week about how much it's increased. It's been incredible.
Well, and your little Uber moonlighting you were doing.
Yeah. And then and then I have no time for that. This is my moonlighting. Could you imagine
you as an Uber? You would have no patience.
I'd be like, no, get in the car. Listen, do I have to grab you by the neck? You get in here and you tip me $20. You understand what I'm telling you?
I don't think you can force tip. I don't think you can force tip. No, you can't. Well, that's robbery, I think, is what that's called.
Wow. It's never happened before, right?
No, never.
But Steve is here and he's saying, "What's going on, fellas? At Spoke Audio did a great job on his video featuring John. It was featuring several of his friends, and it was well put together, and the voiceover was good. And I was flattered. I really was. And
it's flattering when someone says you inspire me. The title of the video was "You Inspire Me."
Yeah.
And so to be in that video, I think that's a beautiful thing. Someday I hope somebody makes a video and puts me and said, "You inspired me." That's a monumental moment.
Very, very that is, it's hard to accept that, actually. Almost. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, for sure. Also, I agree with him. He's saying 200's 200. Yeah, yes. No kidding. Like
that's clap on the 200 save here.
That's like another mic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is. I do know what you're saying.
And here's Jason stopping in, and he's saying, Jason, "Good evening, everyone. How you doing? How you doing?"
Thanks for saying
and Ash just popped in too. So thanks for stopping in. I love that. I appreciate it. So I started out. That was my fix. I had to go in. We ordered everything, and that was last night. So everything's coming in. And that's to be soon, which is because my dryer is on the fritz. So it's going to be, I don't even know what that means. What does it mean on the fritz? Yeah, I manhandled it a little bit, and it didn't really work out. But
it doesn't respond to that. It's not like in the movies where if you hit it with
I don't understand
that doesn't work like that. Really.
I don't understand why it doesn't. It just.
I know.
I felt really good after I punched that thing, though. I'll tell you that. Well, and then.
You would. Of course you would.
So the thing is on the fritz, which I don't know what that means, the fritz. I don't even know what that means.
We every week we get in some phrase that we don't know the origin. I'm sure somebody will Google it, find out.
Whoever Fritz is. But anyway, so that was the whole factor. And that is taken care of. So that's like a weight lifted off my chest about worrying about anything. And we should be good with all the appliances, which is a huge plus. And then I was just like thinking, because like it really was like last week where we passed the half-year mark, and
it was,
yeah, and it happened so fast, and it's been a really rough year in general for most people, and I think that's something to look back on a little bit. So I want to do that. But here's Mommy Guide Lala. She says, "Good evening, John and Ja." That's you, Ja. Hi, Melanie. Everyday Tech Spoke Audio. She's saying hi to everybody. So here you go.
Yeah. See, we talked about productivity last Tuesday. And by the way, just stealing my thunder for next Tuesday in this whole mid-year review thing. But the middle of the
Your
year,
thunder.
it's.
My thumbnail was up.
I don't remember you saying anything about mid-year review in your thumbnail, did you?
No, it says it in the title, so you have to spend a little time with the title.
Oh, we're going to do a double whammy on it. We'll just replay this next Tuesday.
Well, it doesn't matter because this is my things I'm talking about, and then you can have your things, and so don't give away too much tonight.
Does anybody else feel the dismissiveness that just came through there? I love it. That's just.
Let me just hit this button. Hold on. Okay.
What you were looking for is the total dump where I fall off the chair.
That is not true. I would never do that.
I know you would.
So, yeah, everybody's saying that Jeff is looking pretty chill. He looks like, I don't know.
I am pretty.
He just had a Slurpee. He was outside. Who knows? I'm not.
Is that what they call it? Slurpees?
I'm not really sure what was going on.
I'm in musician chill mode for sure, man. I don't know. I don't care.
Well, that's good. At least someone's chilling.
Well, you got to be chill. That's kind of,
So anyway, I did put a couple things down, in not Notion, on a piece of paper. So I put a couple things
You're
down.
one step closer to Notion.
You were like, no, you what?
I was getting excited. I'm like,
I know. I wanted to fool you. So here's another person. If you notice this, he has Jeff, you have a date.
Yeah, it's going to be
for live.
We wanted to do it next Monday, but it was safer for everybody to start a week from Monday. I hate to say it. So
but you don't have that up yet, do you?
I don't have it up.
No. I'll get it what up. I think is he caught what I caught, which was the wrong day for your live.
Oh, Jeff, you have the date. I did. I changed it.
You changed it. Yeah. I saw that too.
Good catch, man. I appreciate that.
I gave him a text during the day, in the middle of my work day. I stopped and I saw that. And
I'm sorry to put you out in the middle of your work day, John.
Yeah, because some people actually have to go to work.
I think I was using a calendar from like 5 years ago.
5 years ago. You're on top of your game.
I am.
That Notion's working out. That Notion's working out. Hint, hint. This works good too.
No, it doesn't, because the calendar was paper too, my friend. Maybe I need to get on that Notion.
On that Notion.
Wrong day. You're right.
So I wrote a couple things down because I just felt like this part of the year went so fast, and it's like I couldn't even take a deep breath to catch up with everything. It's just been so crazy. Because on top of that, if you know me and you've been following me for a little while, I moved recently. And so that's been on top of everything going on, plus trying to push forward with the YouTube and live streaming twice a week. So
nothing going on.
Yeah, there's like nothing going on. And work is like pretty much into full steam compared to how it was. And, it's busy out there right now. The trains are busy. Everything's moving around. Things are going. So, but I just wanted to drop a few things. So if there are some things in your head that you've been thinking about that that you're going to try to really kind of move forward with or excel at, or things that you may have lacked this year. Now, I know a lot of us here, we're all, content creators. And so it can be related to that. It could be related to your personal life, whatever you want to share. I think mostly what I'm going to share is, mostly the content creation, maybe a couple things, kind of personal, but it kind of all relates because you can't leave one without the other in some fashion, I believe.
There's a song about that.
Yeah.
Never, just ignore me.
Love the one you're with.
No, it's that. Can't have one without the. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I stepped on you.
Some have nuts, some don't.
That's you're pulling out commercial tunes. No, that wasn't it. But you know what? It's cute.
Almond Joy has nuts, Mounds don't.
Yeah. Or what's in the something Kit Kat bar or something.
So if you have a little bit of a list of some of the things that you have, or some things that kind of pop into your head that you're working on or you want to get better at, or, things that you see are holding you back in your YouTubing or anything in that fashion, drop it down in the comments. Let me know what you're battling with, and see if we have anything in common here in some ways with this stuff. So, I'm going to go with my first thing that I wrote down. Now, not necessarily are all these things exactly in order. So I kind of like went with what was first in my head. And when it comes to this, the first thing that I wrote was be more creative. So I'm already laughing on the first comment that strolled in because we got Brian saying I'm battling with a full ass plane.
I saw that, and yeah, he needs to elaborate on that at some point. But
yeah, I don't know what that means. But
I do, because we've had some back channel conversations, and it makes me want to like cry laughing. But it's perfect for content creators, and I'm battling with it too, so it works out awesome.
Yeah,
definitely. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah. So Patrick was kind enough to go out there and he found the definition of Fritz. Because Fritz, listen, when I think of Fritz,
well, wait a minute.
That's my grandfather's old fishing buddy. I mean, these guys met. No, I'm for real. These guys met up like 4 days a week, every day for 40 years to go fishing. So
that's an interesting name. Actually, that's a definition, but I want to know the origin.
A state of disorder or disrepair used by the phrase on the Fritz.
Yeah,
so,
but now we got to go back into that. Well, who was the first person to use it, and why did they use it? You know, the whole origin thing.
Right.
That's another dive.
So Melanie says, my goal is to get my drone license. That's awesome. Part 107. I think it's called this to start doing professional work, real estate videos, etc. for my career. Yeah. That's
seems
funny.
Almost like you have to do that now as a real estate agent.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. You listen. You need to buy more camera stuff, and you need to buy a drone. Oh my God, this is amazing! I love this already. I'm gonna go back into real estate. I have my license, so it's been sitting in the state for 12 years, probably.
Yeah.
Me and my wife both have our license, actually. So. Awesome. I could relate to that. And the funny thing is, I was thinking about the drone thing because I would love to add that kind of footage into everything that I kind of do, or what is not much of what I do out there. But that adding the footage of drone looks really cool. That's all I could tell you. So if you can add that stuff in, and so that's a pretty good goal to be looking at. And it says, I love the goal of being more creative. That's what my whole channel is dedicated to now. So that's right. I mean, for me personally, that's a battle all the time of being more creative because I'm typically more analytical on how I do everything. So me, being more creative is going to open me up to a much more presence, I feel, in dealing with my YouTube channel because, I think everything kind of goes together to become successful. Your creativity, the way you approach everything analytically, and how I put those things together. So I'm trying to piece that all together right now. So here's Roy. He's just stopped in. And
hi, Roy.
How you doing? So one of his goals, he's dropping some K about what he wants to improve on. He says his goal is more edited videos on non-live days. Sure. That's a great goal. And I think that's fantastic. And I think I'm kind of like right there with that too. And something else that I missed up above that he put was time, balancing family, day job, and content creation. And those are big things, I think. So yeah. So and kind of like this is kind of like funny because the second thing that I have written down since he said this, right, is plan out my time better. And so, because I think that's like essential to your success.
Someone says plan out my time better. And this gets back into discussions we talk about productivity. Is it planning out the time better or planning out your effort better that will make more time? You know what I mean? So is it about really, because if we have more time, we'll fill it. But the truth of it is sometimes it's about understanding what we're filling that time with, and can we be a little bit more efficient here and there in everything that we do during the day. And that's kind of what you and I have been kind of inching into a little bit here and there.
I think it definitely is to be more efficient with my time. And so
the question is next,
and effective with
how?
it. Right. And that is like, we could probably do a whole 2 hours on that alone.
Oh
So
God.
I don't want to go nuts with that, but a lot of it is with really pre-planning and talking with my family and having set times to do video work, because we already know we have dedicated time for streaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's really to be more efficient with that. And here's a big thing, and I don't know if anybody else deals with this, but does anyone else here feel like when they start a video that they kind of like have to finish it that day? And I need to get past that. That is like a big problem for me, where is I just need to start something. It doesn't have to get finished that day, and I don't have to edit anything. So maybe I got to focus on really just like banging the video out. And that's it. I got all my video footage, and then I can take a deep breath and then make sure it's put in proper order. And then I could worry about editing the next day. But I need to just put a better process together for everything. So I don't need to put a whole video done in one day, you know?
Yeah. And a lot of that is just not having a little bit of a plan that you're used to and conditioned to. So you're ad-libbing in a way, and then you're going by emotion rather than, which is interesting, an analytical approach. So you're saying, oh, I don't know. I feel like I want to finish this. I feel like I should finish this. Whereas I dumped into the video editing part of the structure of Notion, for example, in planning out things, it's been clear to me that the best way to do that is to parse out and have that in place already. So you're not overthinking or planning. You're not taking it out of step for whatever reason that you don't need to. You get conditioned to that.
Right. And you know, because we've had the discussions already, that's really what I'm doing, kind of. So
I think it's normal. I think that's what most people are doing. And I knew coming into this that I would do it. So I don't want to do that. So I started finding ways not to do that, which sort of interrupted finishing things, but it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So Roy says, I seem to need to get into some zone before I edit videos. I want to be live every Tuesday and recorded on Thursday or Friday. And I mean, I think everybody kind of can relate to that, to get into some kind of zone. But it's like we're so new with everything. And with my lives and the videos I think I have like 52 videos totally done. And the thing is, I'm still trying to get past the run and gun phase of YouTube, which is I had no plan put together. I jumped into this like a lot of people. And then all of a sudden, I find myself, trying to put a plan together when I'm already in it for 10 months. So, So Patrick says overall goal is to improve my videos, but specifically to start to do more B-roll. I like that in my videos and use it with a purpose. Absolutely. That's a great goal right there. I fully get that. And that's goes along with just like probably being more engaging with your videos and piecing it together with a thought process of how you want to approach delivering everything in your content. You know what I mean? So yeah. I get that. And Melanie says, like, I think she's relating to the thought of, I know the feeling about starting something and then finishing it. Because actually, I think I was watching a video of hers recently, I believe in the last 2 weeks, and I think she might have been up, like she said she was up at like 2 o'clock in the morning editing some videos. And so I got a feeling she knows this exactly. Like when you start something, like there comes a certain time at the day where it's like, I need to say, okay, pack this up. It's not healthy to me to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning doing these things because I have too much on my plate. And physically, I need to be in a right mindset to even function on a level that I'm happy with.
Well, there's just a diminishing returns to these type of efforts. I've seen this with musicians over the years. We're just going to grind it out, practice, and it doesn't work. You're better off doing 15 minutes here and 15 minutes there, really. But in the case of editing, it's the same thing. I mean, sometimes you just have to grind it out. I get it. But if you don't have to grind it out, you will find it starts to take away the joy of that journey. And that joy of that journey goes a lot of your creativity and really then that starts to become a pain point and you don't even realize it. And when you start creating enough pain points, you start procrastinating on it because you don't even know why. So
and then your passion disappears too,
passion
right?
disappears because guess what? You lost the joy of the journey, and that is a huge thing for me. And it's something that
Right.
I'm going to spend a lot of time on my channel. I can tell you going through this.
And so that's all intermingled, right? And that
It
makes
is.
perfect sense. So Just Jason says, I have a plan to try to experiment with shorts to see if it helps my channel. As a new channel, I don't really have much to lose. Okay. So that's a goal for him that he wants to see if he's going to
Try
figure it
everything.
out.
Try
Right.
everything.
He's going
Why
to
not?
figure out if it makes him more engaging. And then I believe from what he's been talking about a little bit here, he's had a little success with a couple of his shorts. And I think that's what he wants to follow. And I know a lot of people have been having discussions with this, and there's no right or wrong answer, especially if it's effective. But the main thing is like what I would say, and what I do with a lot of my videos is always go back. And I like to see like how many, how much engaging really is it? Even when I get all those views, how many subscribers do I get from that video and et cetera? And because in the long run, I'm always thinking about what's going to be the most effective thing for me in a return fashion for the limited amount of time that I can put into everything. Because I don't have time.
The ratio of views to subscribers on that video, that's an interesting, that's what we want, right? I mean, we'd rather spend less time making videos and getting more subscribers in the end. I mean, I guess views are, I don't know. It just depends on your goal too.
I think it depends on your channel and how what you're showing to begin with. So everybody's going to have different results with everything. You have to try new stuff, especially if you're new, right?
Sure. Why not? I think it's
great. It makes sense. And and really that's a good learning process for anybody, right? Because then you start to analyze what is effective for your channel. So Melanie says, usually I end up editing all at once. Yep. In one day because of time pressure and because I procrastinated before. So it's my fault in time management. And I would have to say that you're not the only one, most likely.
You're in a great big club. You're in a huge club.
I think it's right. That's a club that we can probably all hang out in. So
we're all president of this club.
So, and this goes back to my time management and trying to be more effective with my channel and all these things are going to intertwine with my seriousness. And just so we can kind of get through a list a little bit. And if anyone's still out there that wants to drop something about what they're working on, I'm going to drop my third thing. And this can probably be super relatable to everybody. So the third thing on my list was cope with stress better. And I know it's like a broad statement and it's not really probably a great one to explain, but I think that kind of just explains what I'm trying to say, which is when you're not really effective with your time and you feel you need to be doing more for your family, your life, your health, all these things, then you start being stressed out about what you're not doing enough. And then almost that paralyzes you. And it's this vicious cycle. And so it's
a sense of guilt.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And where's Zan? Because Zan probably could relate to all these things. Zan probably heard, he better get on here. But it's like these kind of things are right up his alley and what he talks about. And I think like this type of talk is something that I think most people who are, full-time working and then content creators and then have a family are all dealing with. So this can't be just like a few people. It's got to be most likely the majority of people are being affected by this. So here's Brian. He says, the full ass plan just means to use a creation process that I can appreciate on its own as it is and not just when it's fully complete. So just by that statement alone, I know he's trying to figure stuff out because this is a little deep. There's a lot going on in this statement. So I think that
I think it's twofold. I mean, one is I'm not going to put expectations on whatever I'm working on to be something more than it is, and on the other one is I can enjoy the fact that that's okay. And so I think it's kind of a combination of how you deal with expectations and also then if you can do that, you can also enjoy what you're doing and just move on and evolve and be okay with the evolution. It always comes back to this joy of the journey. And this is a very deep way of saying that.
And we've talked about this personally.
Of course, just something that you have to be aware of. If you don't, it becomes a problem. And then these real life issues come in. Guilt of you're not spending enough time or doing enough with the dogs or the kids or the wife. And I didn't mean to put the wife last, it just happened that way. So, it's just, or you're not working out or you're not sleeping enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we can just get into all sorts of things we don't do
right
well enough on. And so when that happens, the last thing you almost want to deny yourself feeling of joy of doing something. You almost feel like you're stealing because, I'm doing something on the side of my YouTube thing that I'm enjoying. And it's like, should I enjoy this?
That's where the guilt comes in,
that's
right?
Where the guilt comes
and
in.
this is, listen, we just mentioned Zan like literally 60 seconds ago, and he's here and he says, I just had to swing by and say hi, or my day would not have been complete. Let's go. I can see him going, let's go.
Well, Zan, our day wouldn't have been complete had you not stopped in. So it kind of worked out for everybody. Everybody's safe now. And now you can go eat and do your thing. I appreciate it.
Because we just spoke about this kind of talk is probably right up your alley about what we're talking about. And so Brian is going a little deeper in his explanation. And he says, on YouTube, don't worry about being the best you can be right now. Just get something out there that can be enjoyed as is. Right. I love that answer. I mean, and also I want to thank Brian because he mentioned to me right before my stream, and I didn't really put this thought process together. And I kind of talked to Jeff about this just like 3 weeks ago. So everybody out there might want to listen to this little thing is Brian's like, hey, I can't find your live stream. Where is it? And so I told him it's down on my page a little bit lower. And so then I was like thinking to myself, why would I do that? Like, why would I have my live stream down lower, upcoming live streams? And so he was like, oh, I found it. So yeah, I was like, heck. And I talked to Jeff like 2 weeks prior, and I told him that you don't have your upcoming live streams on your page at all. And
right,
so
my 3 at the time, I think.
Right. And I should have analyzed it for myself. And so I moved it up to the top. And I want to thank Brian for mentioning that because I think it's definitely important. So when someone goes to your page, when they know you're live streaming, they find it like, boom. You know what I'm saying? I love
that people catch other people's issues. You caught some of mine today, somebody else.
Yeah, but this is what we're all about.
Something of mine. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I love so it. Zan says, what's the discussion about? So Zan, we're talking about coping with having a full-time job, coping with having a family and not feeling guilty about how your time is spent and how stressful it is being a content creator and putting the time factors all together effectively. And we're talking about goals that we're trying to all try to get to be better at for success with our lives, which equals success in everything we're doing. So this kind of talk is, I would believe is right up your alley with these kinds of discussions of success. And usually very successful people aren't just successful in one aspect, right? They have to incorporate everything. And what I have learned is when I was around successful people when I was younger, one of the biggest things that I noticed was almost all these people were committed to some kind of fitness plan that they were full-heartedly in every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's true. But Sam is saying time management is my top goal. I created a set plan, but I have so many things that interrupt my schedule. Right. And listen,
and that won't change.
That won't change and will never change. It's always going to be busy all the time. But everyone gets it. And it's just about, as I go through a couple of these things, which I'm going to drop another little nugget here about what I'm stressing about or what my goals are. So, because I just want to, this coincides what we're talking about. So it gives a nice full circle, which is I want to give myself some credit. So we're talking about not having enough time, about everything that we're trying to get finished and being stressed about it. But then on the flip side, like I just don't feel like I ever give myself enough credit of what I have on the plate and what I'm doing successfully, and saying, you know what, you're in here, you've taught yourself so much stuff that we're doing right now, and just say, you're a loving husband, you're a loving father, you try to do the best you can. Like, I don't think that I definitely don't do it
Well,
enough.
the truth of it is, we just are not very kind to ourselves. If we were just being honest about it. And I think that's a big thing where we all have to strive to be more kind to ourselves. And one, give ourselves a break. And two, allow ourselves to be a little bit more joyful about what good things. For example, you had 500 subs last week, I believe. You hit
Yeah.
that number. And that was a great moment. But the question is, did that last, or did you start pretty soon after already start going, oh, I got to do this, or I'm not doing, and you just start going into other things of like, I'm not doing enough here. And then you almost forget about it.
Well, the reason I even do those streams with that is not to be like, hey, look at me. I do it because I want to always look back, and I want to watch it, and I want to appreciate the fact that I am stopping and taking a couple breaths and really taking that journey in, which you and I have talked about.
Yeah.
And this is the passion when I get on and talk about this stuff, and I'm pumped up because of the people that are here, right? The people that we're meeting, the people that we're be surrounding with.
Yeah.
And it gives me chills to know that that this is a group of people all banding together to really support each other in a very positive way. So Zan says, number one, make sure your goals are smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. I mean, these are fantastic things.
Old as time and true, tried and true. Couldn't be more true.
Right.
That's a tried and true suggestion right there. Yep.
And so Patrick says, I feel the need to record the main content all in one shot for continuity. And I get his idea because it's like what you're wearing, your lighting, where you're at.
These are not going to argue it, but I got to tell you, trying to do this 2 minute, which I did record my trailer, so that's great. I've been editing.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. It's I don't want to build it up because it's just me talking to a camera for a couple minutes, but
that's all
it doesn't be. But that aside, I understand the monumental of getting past certain things, and it's been a masterclass of understanding some flow things today. So as much as there were frustrations, I am accepting that this is a great thing to get to this. You have to allow yourself that moment to say, man, good on you to get this far, because this last week or even early this week, this was not a thing. You were blah, blah, blah. But to his point, he's right. I mean, you start fearing the continuity issue. Oh, did you bump a light? Yeah. Did you change a camera setting? Did you?
Well, I agree with it. Totally, and that's the thing. If I can plan to, just like I said, get all the recording, because that helps with the continuity. I got all the recording done in one day. I can worry about editing. I can worry about thumbnails. I can worry about tagging. I can do all that another day. But if I could just get in and get all the, and to be more efficient at getting the recording done, right? And so we'll go further down the line eventually, and we're going to have a discussion on how we can be more efficient this way, which we've talked about some of these things, but I think we're going to do a live stream talking about what is
some ideas on how we can utilize, for example, in the templates we're going to use for Notion, how you shoot your A-roll and you go through and you timestamp where you can see B-roll in your editor, your director vision, timestamp them and put some ideas where you want, and then go back and start acting on that. There's some really efficient and cool ways to create systems. Right. So you can set this up so you're not feeling like you're starting over on a blank canvas each time, mentally and physically.
Yeah.
That's just
and so I don't want to get into a whole discussion about TikTok and YouTube with the shorts, because listen, first of all, I had this discussion today with somebody already, and I was just like discussing like all these shorts, like what's the percentage on all just refreshed TikToks? I mean, they're literally just coming off of TikTok or Instagram, and then they're into shorts, and it's just. So I mean, we can go on and on with all this stuff.
Yeah, that whole thing. The problem with that, it's turning out to be a thing really quick, where if you don't have really great content for your shorts, you're not in the game anymore. You might hit a viral, you could be lucky, but now it's because it's so full that you're getting into the same mode as everybody else. You're going to have to start creating really better thought out content for shorts even.
So I think Sammy can relate to a lot of the stuff we're talking about. And
Zan, you want to be my coach? Come on.
I coach my clients on this daily.
He could call us every morning. You and I could conference into Zan, and
God,
Zan just talk us down every morning.
As long as I have my coffee, I'll be good. So, and then Brian says, this is so true. Not kind enough to ourselves. Yep.
I'm a big, I really believe that's true.
And then Sammy, of course, he's got to throw this in. He's like, I thought you were going to use vMix
like
this week. Well, listen, I want to, and I'm getting closer and closer. It's been a lot to do with time and factors. But listen, it doesn't stop us. It does not stop us from getting the message across about what we're talking about. And so that's the most important thing in general. So Zan says, yes. Compassion is everything. First, compassion with ourselves and compassion with others. Passion backed up by compassion. I mean, if this can't, like, the way he just puts these sentences out, it's obvious, right, that he does work with this stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. And this makes total sense. I mean, we're getting just this
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. That's a lovely comment. And, you know, and it's weird, but when you read that, when someone writes that to you, your mind takes that in and says, you know, it just kind of injects that into that. It's not a lost effort. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, gratitude is everything. I believe gratitude is
attitude and gratitude is very powerful. It's all a choice. And listen, and that's the vibe that I want to put out. You know, I'm so blown away a lot of times by I'm expecting every time to go live, I'll just have something to talk about because trust me, it's not hard for me to just keep on talking and hearing myself. And in Jeff and I, we can just talk about stuff. We have no problem. But like to see
when you
people
don't mute me,
be quiet. So when people So when people come in here and they're talking and dropping comments and dropping some really good answers, I mean, I'm just blown away by that kind of stuff. And so this is just like, it just gets better almost every week at this point. And I don't know if it's going to keep going.
This is quality.
Yeah, this is great conversation.
And it was stimulating for me as I went through my trailer script. And I thought about how we're doing what we're doing. It was such a development to have so many of these conversations, and it creeped into my psyche. And I love that that's part of what I put out there. That's really amazing, actually. And
so Melody's reinforcing the fact I need to work on being more efficient too. Listen, we all do. We all do. But the fact is that if we're conscious of the things that we need, I didn't even say the word right.
Aware, because that's too big of a word.
That's too hard of a word for me.
Don't do it. That's too many.
Jesus. Yeah. I'm glad you caught that.
We can cut out and post. Don't worry about
it. So anyway, I think you know, you guys get it. It's not easy to do this, and we all could stand to be more efficient, and that's fine. And Sammy says it's fine. No, I know, Sammy, we're just busting you. I know, like he
Good
probably
buddies,
wants
we're just busting each other.
Yeah, he wants to see us doing using vMix totally for our production, and that's going to happen soon. So don't worry.
This is right up Sammy's alley. Why wouldn't he? He's passionate about it. Of course he wants to see it.
Yeah. And I love that too. Trust me, the whole thing's going to be good. But listen, meanwhile, while I'm working on learning it and Jeff is trying to get in there with that whole thing too, we're also working on the way everything looks behind us, in front of us, and getting more efficient with everything, the way it rolls. And so I'm real happy about that.
There are times we also have to accept that there are going to be times where, you know what, it isn't efficient. It's going to be a grind stretch. So sometimes that's just what it is. And we have to accept that too. It's when we get into this thing where we go black and white on things, we just got to not do that, because sometimes you're like, oh, I could be more efficient. And sometimes like, nah, I got to just grind it out.
Yeah. You know? Oh, absolutely. I mean,
just be aware. You know,
Sammy's saying, is it me, or typos the worst? And listen, guys, I am the worst. And I think Jeff, he'll tell you he's not like the best either. No. And my wife usually catches it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
And it's not that I'm not bad. Look, I want all the spelling bees, but I can't, for whatever reason, especially phones, forget it. I'm going to type something totally opposite.
Oh. My phone, when it corrects you, you're like, oh my God.
And it always corrects me wrong. And then lately, I don't know, my keyboards are not working. So I'm just I'm an impatient typer. And so things happen, right?
Well, listen, the less we have to type, the less I remember how to spell. So it's like this, it's this road of getting dumber.
Yeah. So it's, what do they call it? We're working our way towards idiocy. Idiocracy. We're working there.
But Zan says this is a good place to be because we can all support and encourage one another with positive energy. The group is always more powerful than the individual. And that is exactly what we're all about. Exactly. The thing is, it's also not an easy thing to do with all new people. I think we're all struggling with trust factors and who we can be supportive to and who we can trust because we don't know each other. And at some point, someone is going to give you constructive criticism. And like Brian sent me a message today and I could have, and sometimes when I text back, it might come across like that. Cause I'm very blunt. This is the way I talk. Listen, I'm from New Jersey. If you don't get that yet, but man. It's like
yesterday you slammed on me. You're like,
did I
do it? Just do it. Blah, blah, blah. I've got it. You're done. I'm like, is he?
Oh yeah. I'm at work. I don't have time for this, but so no, you know what it is Jeff needs a push and I want you to get this stuff done. And I think you've had a super amount of adequate time to roll. And I don't want you to be, because you and Brian are probably battling out these thoughts about how things have to be and how it has to be perceived and approached. And at some point, like you just got to do. And I will be so happy just to see your video, your trailer. When Brian does a video, when Brian just did that video with that little short that he did with my shirt.
It was awesome, right?
It was awesome.
Fun.
And
I'm happy for him and happy for you and everybody. Yeah.
Let's just know it's positive energy. Exactly what we're all talking about. It's the whole fact of us all just, supporting and being there. But also when it comes to a point and you're trying to progress and get better, this is where the hard work starts getting done. And then it's hard to find anyone willing to say this wasn't exactly that great, or you could try to work out this. And then that's where people's feelings get hurt. This is where things don't always work out because people don't want to hear the things that they're not strong
I'm a musician,
about.
man. No one ever says anything nice. Have you ever been a musician in a club? Everybody's down on you, man. So
well, I don't know, but I'm not a musician, but I'm a human being. And the thing is I struggle with trying. Yeah, I struggle with trying to get everything done. I'm self-taught on everything that you've seen. You know what I mean? So I'm open to discussions, improving, learning, and also that I question everything because that's the kind of life that I came from. Okay. So it's like when I question people, it's not in a way to put them down. It's because I need to have answers. You can't just make a statement and walk away and do a mic drop and think that's going to answer someone's question. It just doesn't roll like that with me. So
mic drop.
There it is.
There it is.
So Amateo stops in and he says, "Hi, everyone. I love the content. Talk about someone improving. His channel is always improving, and you can see by the views that he's getting, and you could tell the traffic that he's getting at his channel. And this guy, whenever I'm going to learn more things, and I'm listening to live streams about learning from people that are way smarter than me, this guy is always there. I see him in all the live streams, so I give him a lot of credit. He's pumping stuff out." And Melanie says, "I miss New Jersey New Yorkers so much. The honesty and bluntness is so refreshing." Well, it kind of is until it's like I'm in your face. And
it is for a minute. Then
you have a 265-pound guy in your face, and he's like, "But here's the thing. She's right. She's right to a certain point. Listen." I'll step on your toes and then I'll turn around and back you up, and I'll be like one of the most loyal people right behind you. So there is something refreshing about it, knowing that you can trust somebody. But this is what this is all about. I don't think that we're at that point where everybody can trust everybody at this point. And I think that we're getting there. You know what I mean? And that's where we want to get, where we can go and say things and people can send me a message and I'll look at it and say, thanks for looking out for me. And because I don't think I've heard this over and over again from a lot of YouTubers. When you get to a certain point, there is not a lot of feedback on the things that you're doing, and people don't want to give any feedback, and they don't want to be a big part of a community where they have to be giving feedback because it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so I think that at some point we got to be able to do that and feel comfortable and be in a place, and maybe not like on a live stream right here is the right place, but I know that there's just a lot of places where we can go that would be more private. Or even if, listen, I don't care if someone sends me an email, I'll give you, my number. People text me, people email me. And so, I think that's not a big issue, but I could feel the positive energy. Yep. And that's the idea with this whole thing. And since we're still going with this whole topic, I also want to just go to my next point that I wrote down, which is, I know it's like really broad and seems like lazy, but here it kind of does. But here's the thing. And what I want to explain to you a little bit, because it's kind of like very broad, but it says, follow my plan of action. Okay, that was my next thing I wrote down. And you're like, okay, well, what the heck does that mean? And I guess what it really means is the whole thought process that I had in my head at the beginning, I want to follow through to a point where I feel like I pushed myself where it was uncomfortable and kept on going. Because that is one of my biggest challenges in life, is falling short before the finish line. When I know I could get there, I know I can excel. I know I can do a lot of things. And I've done this in sports and in life in general and myself. And this is this cycle again, where I know that I can push myself past the finish line, and I need to do that more and actually start at 50 years old or 49. I'm 50 now, but I started trusting myself with financial decisions a heck of a lot more about 4 or 5 years ago. And it's really just been a great refreshing fact of where it's brought me to this point. And so I need to trust myself with other things also.
Yeah, it's a
What do you
great.
think?
I mean, it seems trivial, but it's not. Like when you start breaking down what that really represents to you, it's quite massive.
Yeah.
So I can feel that, and I understand it from my own perspective, and I've had a lot of free range. I've been a freelancer for over probably closer to 25 years. And it's easy to get into that mode of starting something and then quickly seeing a bright red light over here and going, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. I'll just do enough and then I can go over, and there's a joy to that to a point, but you always feel a little empty if you don't finish the thought.
Yeah.
And we owe it to ourselves to at least finish the thought. Unless we don't care, but
So we have to make a comment on this because this will break up what we're talking about with a little humor.
Okay.
Canon colors are overrated. Mic drop. Boom. So
he's just
that's funny.
He's just coming at you.
Mateo says, thanks for that, John. Much more to learn. Still improving. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm never going to stop improving. That's a fact. And especially if you want to grow. I mean, you want to grow and take it to the moon. You're always improving and always learning. And that's every aspect of your life. And why I took advantage of it financially with taking, because a lot of people they let other people control their lives and they put their money in other people's hands to take care of them. And a long time ago as a kid, I always said I was never going to do that. And I never fully did. But now I've really made really good decisions moving forward. And it's changed my life in a lot of ways. And by no means is anyone going to destroy that because I'm in full control of what I do. So when it comes to that stuff. So, techie has gone feely love. And that's it though. This is a really good point that he's making right here, is that you and I are not always just about the tech. And that's what I want people to understand. It's what we talk about and maybe where we go, but there's Coffee Talk and Tech and J.A. Smith. No, we don't pigeonholing ourselves in a discussion about just tech. There is a lot involved with a YouTube channel and what it encompasses in your life to be successful at it. And we're all here for a lot of those reasons also. So let's talk about it. Stan, let's go.
You're always the rah-rah guy. I'm more of the kind of like, let's have a cerebral discussion.
This is cerebral. Trust me.
I'm glad you were able to put it out there in words, and I was good. I like how you used the word. Look, my take on all this is I love talking frequency response. I love talking tech and cameras and this and that. But at some point too, because we're talking about creativity, we have to be like, I got to fly around here. We have to be aware and be willing to have real discussions about how do we engage with our creativity and how do we engage with all these tools. And sometimes these tools are just overwhelming and part of the problem, and to put them all together. So we may not realize that the more we talk about tools that might straighten out a lot of the feelings of the friction points and the emotional distress. But come on, man, real life, including our own voices about our guilt that we're having, or we don't feel like we follow through on things. The more we talk about it and we're aware of it, especially with a group like this, the more, look, it's going to help unleash a lot of the other things and just clean things out, I think. So, dinner time too.
Yeah. Well, of course.
I just love Zan. Get the we should have on one of your buttons, one of those like triangle.
Yeah, I know what's coming.
Those ranch things where
the triangle.
I've got a triangle. I got triangles all over here. I'm going to get one. And next time I'm going to have it, I'm going to ring the dinger bell.
Right. Right. So, I mean, Brian says, I need a financial advisor. I don't trust myself to make the best money decision. I'm an artist, not an accountant. More power to you, John. I'm jealous. And here's the thing. I grew up with not the most amount of money. And I always said to myself that whatever I have at a young age, which I should have done better because I was reading about this stuff at 20 years old and I didn't fully engage in the things that I was learning and listen to myself. But I started early. I got, myself into really good credit and always had great credit. And it opened doors for other things. And I always made really good decisions about my buying power and where I do things and how I do things and how I save and how I've traded stocks and how I work my annuities and stuff like that. And so it's really panned out really good for me. So I'm lucky about that stuff. But it wasn't because it was just luck. It was because I did a lot of effort to learn about it because I wasn't going to leave these decisions in someone else's hands for me and my family. So,
I mean, for me, you talk about self-taught. I've self-taught myself so many things. And I mean, one of them was, I remember when I got out of college and I started a llama farm. You want to talk about finances? Now, granted, I did have a business degree, but I mean, degrees are great. Don't get me wrong. But in real life, they're just paper. When when you get out of college, someone says, hey, I got some job offers in Detroit for like some car, plants. I'm like, I'm not, no. And then my buddy's like, hey, man, I'm going to start a llama farm. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know I don't know anything about animals. He did. But the point is, it's my part was you do the admin, you do the accounting. That's all cute until you start have to figuring out really what accounting is and how it works with animals and owning a farm. And the point is that was when QuickBooks and Quicken were really kind of coming out and the thing, and I had never used them. And so to your point, these are all things where you're better off to get in and do it. Look, get an accountant, but I still think you're better off to know a little bit by playing around, even if it's a spreadsheet, using Zoho books. I don't care what it is, like learn something. We should have a discussion about that because he's so true about artists just have no idea. Musicians are the worst when it comes to money management. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Well, what I learned a long time ago, which is when everybody else is running the other way, there's money to be made. Every single time that people were saying, run away from this, run away from AOL, run away from, and I know I'm dating myself, but this is the truth.
AOL, Jesus.
Yeah. And then Yahoo. Yeah. And then run away from, I can give you a million examples. And recently when the oil stocks were all banging down, right? Just like 6-8 months ago, people were like, don't buy into those things. And look at them now. They're over double what they were.
It doesn't even need to be that complicated. It doesn't even need to be about stocks. It's just about, do you know where your money's coming from and where you're going out? And is there any way that you can maybe maximize and, and plan? And it all starts with that part. What is my in? What is my out? And knowing where both of them are really going in very good detail.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't even know that.
Sadly, they don't. I mean, if you ask somebody now, how to balance a checking account, that's not even being taught. And I knew people who were like, oh, I still have money in the bank because I still have checks. That's not how that works. Okay.
Right. Right.
That's not how that works, friend.
So I'm going to go to my last thing. And then
All right.
also, if anybody has any tech questions out there, if anybody's
Drop
lurking,
them. We're being all touchy-feely, but drop
this is about, we're talking about the topic that we have stated in the title. You know, we're talking about goals for the second half of the year, but then also if there's anything tech-wise that anybody wants to talk about or a question, throw it in there and put a Q in the front just so we make sure we know we are not missing a question that seriously somebody wants to get an answer to. But feel free to stop in and say hi if you're also lurking and just chilling and sitting in the background for maybe the last couple of weeks and you didn't know, how to say hi, or just let us know who you are and where you're from too.
You just do this. You go, hey,
hi.
y'all.
We
Hey,
just
y'all.
wait until people just come in and
I
say
ain't from around here.
But so my last thing, which I kind of like touched on a little bit, but my last thing. All right. My last, oh God, I hope I didn't break something expensive.
I know I just hit something myself. Jeez.
So my last thing was to work through the pain. And
I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm going to go backwards a little bit and explain to what I meant in a sense, which is I talked about me personally, not always when it gets a little uncomfortable about taking a deep breath and then pushing forward, and don't let this, stress and all these types of things start holding me back from gathering steam and moving forward. I have to not be afraid about what the consequences may bring me, which is the fear. It's literally probably fear. And I have to just be confident in that. And so when I talk about push through pain, it's not like being, not intelligent. It's not like, hey, more pain, more gain. That's not the attitude. The attitude is push through those stress points that are holding you back, figure them out, cope with the stress, which is one of my topics I was talking about, so I can gain the knowledge and the positivity and the structure I need
so it's like
to
the
function.
Internal roadblocks that you feel are like little internal walls that might be set up that you're trying to really kind of not allow to stop you, right?
Right. So I don't think Sammy's laughing at me. I think what he's laughing at is that Zan the man is always at dinner time. And so I get that.
Zan hasn't missed a dinner. There's no way that man,
right.
He needs that energy. He's got to go.
So I got Ricky from Filmtopia stopping in.
Ricky, how you doing?
Saying hi.
Don't know if I've met Ricky. Very nice to meet you.
He's got a great little channel that he has. It's not going to be so little, so long. I tell you that, because he's going to be blowing up. He runs some really good live streams. And what's really cool is all his stuff's about film and the Marvel channel and everything involved with a lot of cool films. And they go over the Loki. I know there's all these shows that I don't watch, but I go in there and I support, and I love the energy and I love the people. So I go there and hang out. I'll say hi. And what I like about him is we actually have a lot of the same stuff in general. He's got a lot of tech. And so it's kind of cool to see him.
I just love, you're like that kid who has no idea because you've not read any of the comic books and you're just in the corner, but you're just enjoying the drinks and the donuts.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying because, the positive energy, the people there. And sometimes that's what all it takes to draw someone in. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I'm buying a comic book or something. So who knows?
Oh, don't go to the MCU. I can't. You start going into that, you're going to get lost.
I'm going to be dressing up as Spider-Man. I'm telling you, this is going to go over big.
Dude, that's a tight outfit.
Not too tight. I'm telling you, it's good stuff. But Ricky, thanks for stopping in. I really
appreciate it. Can you imagine
you
swinging between buildings, man? That would be just fantastic.
Listen, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Oh my God.
Yeah, spins a web.
Yeah, I know, but man.
Well, it happens.
No, I don't know.
I used to tell my son this is Spider Hand, and I used to get him all the time. My son used to love it. Spider Hand, and I'd go up and tickle him. And I know I'm a big softie, so
you are a teddy bear.
I love showing that kid affection. He's a great kid.
Great. You're a great dad.
So Brackets review. He said, "More pain, more gain." Really fun.
There's some
Yeah,
truth to it.
that's that thought process is that's old school mentality is like when we used to lift weights, it's like work through the pain. And it's like, yeah, then you blow out your pec and you're having surgery. So I learned at a young age, which is,
Yeah.
when it comes to sports and everything, I was the guy that was years ahead of everybody when it came to lifting and having ideas of how to get stronger. Cause that was what I used to be all about. I was a trainer and all that jazz. Believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe because it's a million
It's
years
not.
ago.
It's not hard to believe at all.
But right. So look at this. So Brian Paul, you might like Filmtopia. You might want to check that out. These guys would be right up your
Actually,
alley.
I'm a huge fan of I went for Christmas. I got that. My wife got me if you've seen Brian, I think Costco had them, but they're huge encyclopedia of every MCU character, all drawn out with the history of each one of them. I spent like days and days just going through each one. I just love that. Yeah, I got to get into this Filmtopia.
These guys
channel.
were doing like a 3-hour stream, like overnight, talking about things. I mean, I think he got like something like almost 4,000 views on a live stream.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I mean, the MC universe is absolutely fanatical.
It looks that way.
And if you put out the content, I'm excited. He's going to get me. I'm going to head over to Filmtopia because that's going to be my universe.
Yeah, and it looks that it like it is a lot, so people are really interested in it. So true. I used to just always go to channels that I am also passionate about. Now I actually enjoy visiting other channels because I learn a lot of new stuff, and I think that's part of it, right? I mean. Listen, it's also watching other content creators and the stuff that they're putting out. And I think that we do too much comparing most of the time. But
it's a mental thing.
Oh yeah.
It's
a block.
It's a block. And I think for somebody who's really, really, really new like me, I think I realized like I've done so much of the jumping in. As I'm in that spot right now where I have to be careful not to jump in too much. Like I want to get back in eventually here soon, but I also realize that I'm too mentally already strained or spread thin that I don't want that to creep into my psyche. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but
no, it's not just you. I think it's a lot of people, and that's one thing that I'm pretty decent at. But Ricky's he's making a comment. So good to have you. Your support and awesomeness definitely always gives us a jolt of energy. And the thing that they do on their channel, which to be honest with you, I've been doing since I was a kid too, is they always say vibes, 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 and it's all like that was always that's the thing you'd say, right? About good energy around good people and your buddies. So we always say that. So when he had that saying on his channel, I was like, oh my God, this is great. I love that. And so he says, glad to see you as a fellow Filmtopian. So we appreciate that.
I'm going to be a Filmtopian.
Yeah,
I just like the name. I'm going to subscribe. I'm believe me, I'm an MCU guy. So this dude's jumping in. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find out. You'll find out. It'll be right up your alley.
Over there, man. Don't you worry about it. Brian and I are going to head over there. We're gonna be stream buddies, and we're going to go over there hand in hand, and we're going to make it happen.
But so Amateo saying compare is a mental thing. Yep, he is. Glad you said that. Improve and beat your old self yesterday and become a better you tomorrow. And see, this is why, like, this is why I said what I said about Amateo earlier, right? Because I see him on the same discussions with the same people live streaming, and these are intelligent people, right? Having intelligent decisions about where to go and how to make good decisions for your YouTube channel. Okay. When you have a discussion with like a D Niman or a Daniel Battelle or a Nick, and they're talking about the hard topics, then, and you're in it, listening to it and taking heed and putting those efforts towards making goals. I mean, another great people to listen to is Tom Buck with their live streams and Heather Ramirez and being involved with those groups. I mean, these are good people with intelligent decisions that they're making and good advice and honest people. So, I mean, it goes a long way. So, and so Melanie knows because I'm new to that whole crew and I saw her on the live stream and she says the vibes are amazing. And that's the truth. So I really appreciate that that we can discuss these things. And Amateo is saying something, going back to his thing, is that it's mental. And that's why, like, I think that you might have seen Jeff with me is listen, we all compare to a certain point, but I don't hold myself back on comparisons. I'm a little bit different. Whereas, listen, I know it's not going to be as good as a million other people, but when you're brand new, I have an expectation that I don't think it has to be. And I allow myself to just put the content out. And I've never been a person that really takes judgment all that harsh. So I kind of am lucky like that. Listen, I want to be better. And I know some of my stuff is, literally almost garbage, and some of it's really good. And I just want to improve on things, like the things I see that don't work and they didn't work. And when you're newer, but look where I came from. If you look at my streaming and my setup and everything, literally 3 months ago, it is like, I don't know how many people can improve that much in 3 months. So this is where I'm patting myself on the back because I know I put the hard work in. So
it shows.
And you're the same. So you know what I mean? So it goes that way. And then we want to go and pummel ourselves with everything. And here we are, we're busting our humps on stuff, because it's a lot to take in. And, but the vibes are amazing. And this is it. Like the people we're surrounding ourselves with, like the people here that are giving positive energy, you guys can feel this. Like there's no joke. I mean, you feel it. I do.
I'm a big believer in you kind of get back the frequency you give out, right? So whatever it's energy or vibes, I suppose that's it. But you try to find, by the frequencies you give out, you do resonate with other people in that same frequency.
Absolutely.
And they find you. And I, I'm not trying to be wizardry about it, but I do believe in that. And I've seen it and I see it here and I love it. So I'm excited for the type of the vibes and energy of the people that are in here tonight are wonderful people. And I'm loving it, man.
Yeah. And so this was one of the things that he's on a fitness challenge. And I am in the process of getting myself to a goal too with certain things. And my goals are going to be a little different. I mean, I had reconstructive surgery on my left arm, so I'm limited on some of the movements that I had, but I have my own goals that I need to get to, and I'm going to get there. So, but
yeah, I'll do it, John. I would do it, Brian. Let's do it. I'm already in that mode.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You got to put a plan together.
We got stream buddies, we got squat buddies. It's all going to be fine.
That just is weird right there. But I'm not going to be a squat buddy.
Come on, be a squat buddy. Oh.
No, I don't need a squatty potty.
Oh my God, those are the weirdest. But I guess they work.
Those
ads were everywhere with that little unicorn and just like, squatty potty.
Yeah,
they made their millions.
Howard Stern. That's all he talked about.
He just was he's all about the potty. He
loved that thing.
He loved it.
But Melly's saying, well, not here. I love the overlap running into each other on other streams. I think she's talking about Ricky and some of the other people. Like we run into each other because we're in the same crowd. We're trying to surround ourselves with the good vibes. So we see each other all the way around. And so
I think again, that's people attracting the same
vibes.
So I don't think it's that shocking, but in a way it is.
Yeah, well, you know what it is? It's exciting. I think it's definitely exciting because I don't know. It's just like when you find people that are having the same value system as you and striving for the same goals, it's relatable and you don't feel like you're alone. We got a group of people to bounce things off of and improve. And that's that's worth its weight in gold.
It is. And I think thinking about it that way is another way of trying to redesign and recondition this thought process, because going back to what you said before, the problem that we kind of run into is we turn this into a combat sport, at least in our minds at times. And some people do it for real. And so you have to stop seeing that way. You have to stop combating what other people are doing. And you have to stop being combative in your head about what you feel you're not doing or you're not doing well. I do it. I mean, that's just, so here, what's nice is you kind of turn into a different way. So if you can turn it more into a condition of support and fun and vibes, I love it because that's I think, a healthier place to be in all this.
Heck yeah. Like someone said right now, we weren't just streaming about tech all the time. This is
Right.
about serious stuff. This is about being honest with each other, and this is about supporting each other.
Yeah.
And it's not, the text is easy answers, and this is not always easy answers. When someone says, and when we get to the point where people have that trust and can give the constructive criticism to each other, and we can grow individually, that's even a bigger plus along the way.
Well, I mean, the tech's great, but I mean, if you spend all the money on tech and it just sits there because you're mentally maybe beat down or you're unsure, right? I mean, then it doesn't matter. It's not even worth the money you paid on at that point, right? And so we've all been there. So it's not a judgment call. It's just, let's get ourselves out of that and help each other, right?
Right. And so Filmtopia is getting a lot of feedback on his channel. And why wouldn't you? Because this is great stuff. People love this stuff, right? It's good energy. It's people enjoying movies, enjoying getting away from our life every day and be able to have fun. So that's what it's there for. And that's why it's so great. So Ricky asked, actually, he goes, fellas, how do you get your StreamYard footage to look so crispy? When I go through StreamYard, it looks super compressed. I'm running an A7. Well, you have a great camera through an A10 Mini Pro. Ecamm looks great, but not enough guest links.
Yeah.
So to be honest with you, I think I basically just make sure I have the right lighting, good lighting, and everything is pretty. Like your camera is, a $2,000 camera, which I have one of those, and I was using as my main rig. I actually have it as my backup. This is my Canon EOS R, and then I moved this to my Canon M50. So this is about the cheapest camera you can get at 1080p, and it's got a Sigma 16 mil with 1.4 right now. And so
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just dial it in. And Jeff has a brand new camera. So what camera are you using?
No, I'm using Sony, the A6 400. So I think for me, where I always start with is lighting. That's got to be key. And then you start getting, I really think the ISO is underrated, and then the dynamic range. So that dynamic range of the, getting your crispy colors and contrast with your ISO and not introducing all that noise is obviously critical. You've got the camera. So then the question is it a lens issue, or is it just maybe the triangle is not quite dialed in with aperture, ISO, and
even some mirrorless cameras, they'll recommend you run it like 400 ISO. People think it's got to be 100, but it all depends on what camera, what lens you have, and the lighting. And I play with the colors a little bit. And if you ask a lot of YouTubers, I think that you'll get a lot of people saying that they'll oversaturate and they'll throw an extra contrast in, and then this week, I actually used the white balance card for the first time. And
I did that too this week as well, just to kind of clean some things up and
so
kind of figure out what your room is doing too, and your lights are doing.
Right. So we have Will here.
Look at Will.
Stopping in.
The Canon, right? He was going to get, here we go.
I love it because he says, evening, fellas. I've been lurking on here for about an hour, and he just pulled the trigger on the M50 Mark II and an M mount adapter. So I believe he got the adapter that goes from the M to the EF, I believe, right? And then thanks again for the recommendation. No problem. And we always appreciate you coming in. We're really excited, and I think you're going to love that camera. And I think it's a great decision. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. This is an M50. This is an M50. Do you know how many people ask me? And I'm in 720 right now, right in StreamYard.
Yeah. Right.
But do you know how many people ask me when I'm in 1080p if this is 4K? I have people all the time commenting on my videos thinking that it's 4K. So
you're a crispy critter.
Sometimes.
Yeah. See, I run everything. Well, I do a lot of 24 stuff. And so I think sometimes it's a little bit less crispy, but I'm happy with my picture. I have no problems with it.
Yeah, I mean, the flow is different. I'm running at 30 frames,
right?
And 2997 everything is, and I'm running an A10 Mini also, and so I'm always 1080p. And I think 4K is, I think 4K is super overrated in video and in streaming. So
I should run at 30 on the lives. I don't know why I do that.
You can change it. That's the great thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I'll change it, but I'm not unhappy. So
And look at this. He's giving homage to the people that stopped in and subscribed to them. He says, "Wow, we were so honored tonight during the Black Widow stream. We can make sure to welcome the proper Filmtopia way vibe." So when you stop in there and people are just going vibes, and the energy, and that's what being a Filmtopian is. Where I talked about this already, and I'm trying to work out what are going to be like the people for Coffee Talk and Tech. So I don't know, caffeine crazy people. I don't know what it's going to be, but we're going to figure it out one of these days.
Caffeine. I don't know.
Yeah. But I've been thinking about it too, and so I'm going to try to figure it out.
Come up with your own caffeine.
Yeah, I hope. Brian's got one too. It's a great camera, which it absolutely is. It's a great, incredible camera, and I think sometimes
it was so expensive, and I wouldn't have been able to get anything out of it.
I just saw the notification about how now Sony is delayed on their releases of their new cameras again, and so I'm hanging out, and maybe I sit around for 3, 4, 5 months, and maybe I could pick up something really cheap. So
I think Black Friday is going to be a very interesting time to check that. I think that's what they're doing. So.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting because maybe I could pick up that A7 III or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
So
he says
boo.
So Will and Brian are fist fighting on it's such a thing, I love that people fight on it. I think if you want to take 4K and you want to do some zoom things, that's a nice place to start because you have some extra.
You could punch in.
So, but as far as you're just talking about generally speaking, and I don't know, I don't know that I'm going to get any 4K advantage in a 720 compressed world.
No, well, not in that case. And then it all depends if you're doing something, are you doing that kind of high res stuff in general? Are you punching in all the time and, things look that way? I mean, literally like on 1080p, if you're punching in, how big does the TV have to be before you start to pixelate anyway? Like what, 80 something inches? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. So that depends. One ready. I'm going to contact you too, John. Nice light there, Jeff. And so he likes your light that you have there.
It's my official YouTube background light they sent me.
Yeah. I mean, we have ideas and we have price ranges, and that's what we talk about when we talk about cameras.
Thank you. Appreciate
this is I've been using this as a little, trial, and the I don't know why, but the sound in here is delayed like 1 second on this. But this is my GoPro 7 Black, and I've been running it off a battery for literally hours at a time in the live stream. And I'm just like testing it out because I got my Sony on my wireless system in the back that I'm using also. And then this is my Canon EOS R, and what's great is I have the zoom lens on this, so I could punch in and out no matter what with this camera. And this is a great camera. I love that camera. That EOS is so underrated. It's unbelievable. I think it's fantastic. But and Brian's going to say something probably.
I got to go to bracket reviews site and make sure I sub on the guy, because from what you're telling me, I think I need to jump in there. It's great.
Yeah, you got to check out. Everybody's here, and what's great is that you can check out like how they're improving too, and you can see it.
That's what I want to do, because I think sometimes that's more influential for newer people than even people that are already, they're so over here. Sometimes you want to see how people are incrementally improving themselves, because they do it actually kind of quick in a way. Like there's a little bit more of an obvious augmentation of their product, and that can be more obvious to you.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that is true. I mean, I look at that actually, particularly exactly what you said. I look at that kind of things also.
Melanie, there are no bad ideas here.
CTTers. I know. I thought of that too. I don't know. The only problem is
a little bit like medical.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to find something. But who knows? We'll find it. It will come when it's ready to come with.
Yeah, I mean, you could. Never mind. I was in that coffee clutch kind of thing, but that's just so like you don't want to go down that path.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. So Ricky says, you guys just reminded me to take off my ProMist filter and to probably eliminate 250 ISO
Yeah,
on
maybe
at
so. Yeah.
light contrast, smooth out my background colors, transitions will report back. Are you using a ProMist filter? Are you using a quarter stop? Or are you using an eighth? I'm just curious because I have certain filters myself. So I'm just curious to see what you think and what brand ProMist are you using also. Because I felt like a quarter was way too much. And then I'm switching to an eighth. And I like it because it does smooth out things. But right now I'm using absolutely no filter on here at all.
The one you had smoothed out, but I also thought it didn't destroy detail. Like I felt like it still looked at a really good resolution, but I know.
What's cool is like those filters, though, they tend to make things like a little bit more cinematic looking. And if you're going for that, I think it's kind of really cool. I really kind of enjoy that. Yeah. And so especially if you're already in 24 frames and or 30 at the most, but like if you're looking for something that's going to be like 60 frames and you're doing game stuff, it's not like the filter you would use, but this is, more for talking head sitting down kind of stuff. But so Will says, yes, an A camera, I shoot in 4K only. I can digitally manipulate the shot on a 1080 timeline. Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. And that's how 4K got a bad rap. It's more nuanced. Don't use those kind of words, bro. I don't think I've ever seen that word spelled.
We almost had to shut the show down.
I don't think I've ever seen that word spelled before. But
really?
Probably not. No, I probably have. But
well, you're in New York. So.
I don't know. But
no.
But the thing is, here's like 4K. I just think that a lot of new YouTubers would have. Maybe they don't have the most powerful computers. Maybe they don't have like the most top end storage or the quickest hard drives. So I think anyone that feels that they have to do something in 4K, it's by no means do you have to at all. Everything can be in 1080p because just sometimes for some people I know personally, they're rendering 1080p videos and it's taking like 45 minutes. And I couldn't even imagine where 4K would put some of these people.
Wouldn't you agree though that at both ends of the spectrum, you have people that are just, I'm using 4K and it's like overkill. They're not even doing it right. So they're just saying to say it. And then there are other people who are quietly using 4K either to use it to crop out so they can pull back, give themselves a little bit more area. And then maybe they can crop out a frame that they want, or they can use the zoom in and zoom out a little bit while keeping some of the resolution. So I think there is nuance to that discussion, but
yeah, I like this because Will's basically saying, we'll take this offline, Brian Paul.
Are they going to fight, though? Because if you fight offline, maybe just put like a C920 up somewhere in the corner of the room so we get like that little weird like fight club thing.
That would be funny. It would. So Ricky's saying he's using a quarter stop on Tiffin. Tiffins are great.
I love this avatar he has.
The K and F is really good, too. For the money, especially, but the Tiffins are proven, absolutely proven, and they've been around for a long time. And he's using a quarter stop. Now, I had a quarter stop. I felt like it was too much, and I don't know. So I'm actually gonna go with an eighth and see how that turns out. It's actually being shipped as we speak because the quarter I felt was too much for me. So. The ProMist used to be one of our secret weapons on small sensor cameras. And so that's what I was going to try to do. I was going to try to do a little secret weapon and have like a look. And I thought it would be really cool to have a black ProMist filter. And I really like what it does to the lighting in general. And I wanted to have like this cinematic look. And so I'm going to wait for my eighth stop to get here. And I'm probably just going to keep that anyway, because even if I keep it, it's kind of cool to use in different situations with like sunsets and etc. like that. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Power restored, man. Woof.
Go to make a little video. See you guys soon. So take charge, gone. All right. So I think he might have had like that weather issue going on where around here we were having some issues
Yeah,
possibly too.
Saw that.
So yeah, and in the last couple of days we've had a couple little bad regular storms that knocked down a lot of trees. So we didn't need a lot of extra rain, that's for sure. Because I imagine it would be taking down more trees around here at least. So Brian says it's most not talked about benefit is the glow it gives to lights. See, Brian, I'm trying to learn. So you should be really proud of me because how many like dinky YouTubers like me know about this stuff?
Yeah.
So I am trying to find things that might be have a look that's a little bit different than some people, but it's not really a huge secret in the YouTube. But I don't think a lot of people know about it. But I think the bigger YouTubes are they're definitely using this stuff, and they use everything because these are like the only people that have like the A7S3s. I mean, these people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's going to get to a point where you're starting to you're digging in the corners to find something a little bit different to augment your life and your products. So
listen to him. He's trying to think up some kind of ideas here.
These are good ones. I like Java Bites. I was thinking of Coffee Talk beanies, like that one, that kind of area. But he's in that. I like it.
Yeah, he's thinking some pretty cool stuff. The Java Bites is not bad.
Java Bites are good.
Java Bites. That's kind of crazy. That kind of fits in a cool way.
Or it could be Java Tykes. Whatever. Yeah. Java Bites are good.
Java Tex, Java Bites. But the Bites is kind of cool because,
because it's a bite.
Yeah. Megabyte, but people are going to be, I don't know if, but you know what? Not other people don't have to understand that because it's really just about the group we have here. So
yeah, I mean, nobody, if I said
Java Bites, that's not a bad
buddies
one.
to people,
Right. We're stream buddies.
Stream buddies.
It's a slippery slope. 8th isn't enough. 125 is too much. Yeah, I'm going to find out. Look at this. We got one of my high school buddies stopping in here. Sorry, I'm like, can you start from the beginning again?
We can. Turn the music
Listen,
on. Let's do
we're going to say everything all over again anyway. That's what we do.
Let's go backwards.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I know this Vince Portelli would love Filmtopia's. He would love Filmtopia's YouTube channel. I have a strong feeling that if you checked his channel out, Vinny Filmtopia, I think it would be right up his alley for sure. So. Yeah. See, the thing is, that's what's great about like Ricky. You get the idea. He thinks outside of the box. He's always trying to think ahead of the curve, and that's the kind of people I love to be around. I love when the passion shows through, and when you talk to them, you could see that energy coming through about when they're discussing about their YouTube channel, when they're discussing about community and what their community is or what type of people they want to be and what they believe YouTube should be. So I kind of love all those facts,
I think I think they should be John's Little Sugar Cubes.
John's Little Sugar Cubes?
Little Sugar Cubes. It's terrible. That's just everything about that is awful.
I don't know.
Go with Java Bites.
Java Bite sounds good, but I got to make sure I'll weigh a couple things out. But I like that. That's it's definitely.
I have a feeling there's a lot of people using it, but you can use it. There's no reason for you not to jump.
You think Java Bites? You think there's a lot of people using it?
God, yeah, I do. Yeah,
yeah. We'll see.
And Coffee and Bites is old as computers. But doesn't mean you can't use it. Doesn't mean you can't, right?
Maybe I could be Java Scuzzy.
That is a terrible idea. Let Filmtopia take this.
Scuzzy Drive, floppy Java, floppy Java.
Come up with Scuzzy and floppy. These are terrible. You got to stop.
Well, it would be good though because the floppy disk, we can keep that alive.
You don't want floppy in a name, friend.
Floppy Java sounds pretty good. I'm telling you,
it sounds terrible.
I like that one. I don't know.
Oh, I see your fork in the lap. Okay.
But
I like beanies.
No, it's not going to be beanies.
Yeah, it could be
like
beanies,
babies, and stuff. So
you think floppy? You think floppy was a winner?
I'm kidding. I'm not going to use the word floppy. I'm just saying I want to interface with my Scuzzy drive later and talk about our
John's interfaces.
1/4-inch floppies.
They could be your faces.
Bean bites.
Interfaces. See.
But I don't know. If you have a good idea, throw it out there. Who knows? We might have something.
Three
Right.
and a
That's what
half
I.
inch Java. Oh,
That's
my.
exactly 3.5-inch Java floppy
Ah,
interface with my SCSI drive.
3 men and a SCSI.
Three, three, and then a SCSI drive.
That's like
God.
that's a bad movie right there, right?
He likes it, I think. Floppy Java is what we used to call Brian at the station.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's taken.
Wow.
You know,
That's
yeah, it's just all right. I mean, we're gonna bring it all out tonight. So
wow.
Jabba the Hutt's is a good one.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah.
So I think we covered everything as
Lord
far
of
as
the Rings.
goals. And I'm super psyched that Will ordered his M50. That's awesome. His
That is
M50
great,
Mark
yeah.
II. He's going to be really happy with that. And
I wonder when
get
he's
your-
gonna get that. If he knows, maybe put it down there. When are you gonna get that? Do you have it already, or?
No, I think he said he just ordered it today. So
Well, it should be within the next, probably by next Wednesday. He'll have it at least.
that's cool. That's cool. Well, hopefully we got some lurkers here that are stopping by. I just want to mention, if this is the first time that you guys have ever stopped in here and you're just watching, it's okay to drop a question in. We talk about tech, we talk about YouTubing, we talk about streaming. So if there's anything out there that you want to ask, drop it in the comments.
Drop a
It's
dime in
okay.
the comments.
Don't be afraid.
Well, be a little afraid. It's okay to be afraid.
Yeah. Do you want?
Wow, Will
honest
says
answers?
July 24th to August 11th. Man, it's an interesting. It's taken a while.
Where do you order that?
Man, where did
Amazon?
you order that? Did you order that out of like South America?
You probably got it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I usually don't buy cameras on Amazon, but I have bought on eBay. I'll tell you that.
He said he got to play with. Oh,
Oh, well, that's even better. I think that's great.
I love that he did get it on Amazon. I love that when you can play with. You and I've had these discussions about Best Buy, and kind of sad that there are just less and less places to actually go physically handle the toys.
Yeah,
It's just
they
helps
do. They
so
do
much.
have a Canon M50 there, though.
That's actually really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they got that. They got a ZV-1 there at Best Buy,
Look at that, right?
so that's kind of cool.
God, BH was out of stock.
Really?
What's going on with that? Well, it's a popular camera, man. I mean, look at the price point. Look what it does. I bought a 6400,
Yeah,
and I mean, they were in stock.
yeah. I
but
think
they're
part of it.
$300 more.
I think part of it's that, and then I know there's just a lot of. I wonder if like what's holding them back is maybe some microchips or anything like that, because
Could be,
we're
yeah.
still fighting that whole issue
Yeah.
that's going on with the cameras. And I believe that is the main reason why Sony production has been held off.
Well, they may be worried that they can't fulfill the demand, and that's not going to help things. So,
right.
you overpromise, underdeliver. That's a death nail, and then you can't take advantage of it. So, cancel
Yep.
orders and things like that.
And then you get people that want to punch in 4K and then be like, "Ugh," like that.
I don't know. What do you guys want to do with that? Let's all just walk out of the room slowly. Yep. We're going to back out. We're going to back out of the room, everybody. Don't make any sudden movements with John.
But
I love that you did it on this shot because it's really tight right now.
exactly. Just the perfect reason to be
Really?
punching in like that, to look horrible.
Oh my goodness.
But the great thing is that he says B&H was out of stock. I'm fortunate that I can just jump on a train at lunchtime and run the B&H in New York City. I love that fact that I always have that in my back pocket.
Yeah.
So Adorama, I've bought stuff before, but I prefer B&H's for sure. And what?
This may win the comment tonight. This is really great.
Oh no. Was delayed because it was set to release on the day Japan invaded China in World War II. I have no idea. Weird coincidence.
Is it a coincidence?
Or,
I don't think so.
uh,
You got to be,
we got Sammy pumped up.
Yeah, New Jersey people are not going to unite.
He's saying New Jersey people unite.
Yeah, they're not going to.
I don't know.
Each other's jobs. That's going to.
Who knows? But yeah, I know that like every time I'm heading to BH or something, I love the fact that I just always send a little message to you guys, a couple people. I'm like, yeah,
Guys
I'm
need
going to
anything?
beach.
Yeah, you're like, you guys need anything? No, that's not what you send. You send, hey, look, I'm at B&H. Hey,
Hey, you need
look what I
anything?
just bought.
You need anything? Because I'm going.
That's such a painful moment. When every time I get those from you, it's like, oh.
I miss B&H so much. I still order online from them. I mean, they're great, right? Because everything about them is they stand by what they sell. You go to their store, they got the whole shipping in the store. They got the chutes that are going above you, sliding over, and you can grab everything. You can test out stuff. I mean, literally, you can go there and they have the wireless HDMI systems that I bought right there. You can grab them, you can touch them, and you can see what they look like. I mean, there's not many places that you can do that. So it's awesome to be that close.
Yeah. It is nice. Well, I'll live vicariously through you.
So Brian is talking about the ZVE10. It says it looks like a cool camera, has a unique vlogger mic built in. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, that would be a little bit of a game changer to not have to. We'll see.
Yeah, I tell you, the mic on the ZV1, and I've said this before, is it's like really awesome to begin with. One of the best mics that I have ever listen to, straight out of the box as far as
they augmented it and took it to another level. I mean, yeah.
Living vicariously through the New York and the New Jersey crowd. Yep. Mm-hmm. Sammy's not far away. He's right over in like close to the summit. I'm like, 20 minutes away from him, 25 minutes. And it's awesome. People always think New Jersey is all about like, the armpit of America, where you go down by Secaucus and further down where the dump is, and then you go to the oil refineries, and they don't know, like, guys,
around New York Airport.
Yeah, I mean, basically where I work. And so, guys, do you get the fact that it's called the Garden State for a reason?
Well,
so
I think people forget in New York, there's actually a New York upstate that, they have trees and things.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The Adirondacks are incredible.
Yeah, well, I sat on Sony Alpha Rumors for a while, and they told me that camera's coming out at the end of May, and I waited and waited and waited, and I gave up. So I don't trust them. So
yeah, listen, it's not just
them.
It's
called rumors.
Yeah, it's called rumors, but it's also about other things too. As far as like, I feel like right now the availability of things are not just it's not as simple as usual. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But Will says he's going back a little bit on timelines. Up until very recently, I was using 2997, but now I am torn between 30 and 60. I shoot B-roll in 60. Right. Absolutely. That's what you got to do for sure. And if needed, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? You always would shoot that in B-roll so you can slow it down. Here's the thing. Like, I tried the 24 for a while, and then I just switched back because I wanted to have a lot of people are like, oh, 60 is so smooth. It's so fluid. It's so this. I don't think it makes a hell of a difference at all, especially if you're doing the stuff that we're doing. Like if you're just sitting at a desk, I don't know how anyone is got like a bionic eye to tell the difference of a flow of a 60 frames versus a 30. I mean, am I high or something? Like, can you guys really tell a difference in this kind of scenery? No. Like if I sat here and tried to flap my wings 100 miles an hour, you might be able to tell. But like if I'm sitting here just like this, is anyone be able to tell that? So,
I mean, on a stream,
I mean, if you're playing games and you're running, does that make a difference? Thank you. Tell me, come on, let me know, Brian. I mean, honestly, you know how many people that I know that didn't even know by mistake they were flowing in 30 frames per second and they thought they were in 60, and they're like, "This is why it looks so good," and they're in 30. There's a million reasons why someone's stream looks so good, So I don't know.
Streams versus video content. I don't know.
On Sony cameras, 24 at 100 is the best quality video.
I'm
because
using
the bit rate.
2400 right now on one.
Yes. Yeah,
the bit. I think it does look really good.
And now the bit rate's 120 on most of those things, so you're even getting a little bit extra, and that's why some of them you can use that little log going on. But So thanks. He's saying that I'm high. So
You're
I'm
high
curious
on
to
life, John. You're
I just
high
want to
on
see.
life.
I mean, I don't know. I'm curious. Maybe one day I'll just do it and see if anyone says anything. Because first of all, we're getting compliments when we're Jeff. We're getting compliments about
I'm
how.
afraid to take it to another level because we may get mobbed. At that. I mean, it look. We do get a lot of compliments already
Yeah.
at this
So
level, and people are always thinking we're doing it at 60. So I don't know. I think the issue here is Brian Paul is he's very close to the subject. He's very close to these very small details. So I guarantee you he could see it.
no. I thought he was being sarcastic from the start, and then I think he says it right here. I thought he was being sarcastic from the start, and I just love it because I kind of got it right away. But he's saying, I think it does look terrible streaming at 60. So there you go. Yeah. But I thought he was being sarcastic because, listen, it's not about that. I think it comes right down to it is that there's no way in hell anyone can tell the difference by us just sitting here talking. There's no way.
You would have to really have movement's going to be exposed.
Exactly.
That's
so I don't know. So whatever.
You and I should move very slow.
So Aaron has stopped in. And he says,
Aaron,
hello, everyone. Where is he? I'm a bit late. That's okay, brother.
You're never late. You're here when you're supposed to be.
That's it. And also, I'm curious to see if you bought a laptop.
Oh, that's right. He gave us some specs last time.
Yeah. We went back and forth a little bit, and he was talking about a few things, and he had a couple good things picked out. And I'm just curious. He wanted to go big time, and I was like, I don't know, man. This laptop that I sent you is like great money for the specs.
I hate overspending on, and there's no reason to.
Thank you, Brian.
But I think it's good to find out what that crazy level is and then try to work your way back on the whole computer buying. So I am curious if he bought one or maybe he's not settled down yet. I get it.
Yeah, I think, he's probably just taking his time with it. Maybe
take your time, man. There's no rush.
But he's also, I think, stuck because he's been having some issues with.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Aaron.
Editing and everything. And so.
Sure. I like people that can, I do love it when people say, they talk about like they appreciate the colors or just the aesthetics of what we do. I think we both, and I'm people in here, I'm sure all do, but I mean, I really take a lot of pride in trying to set a scene or a mood. This was finishing off my trailer today, the little video I'm doing. And so the scene was for that. So I appreciate you talking about that.
Yeah, I think it's like we've discussed this is having the lights that change the colors and having backdrops and being able to throw light off of the backgrounds is always giving us an ability to change up our background a little bit and not always look, the same, right?
It's been tricky because this wall over here is actually kind of an orange yellow, and that's very difficult with RGB. And so when I was recording, I couldn't with the 16 millimeter keep this background. It was 8 feet. It's or 100. I don't know how it's like 106 inches or whatever. It's still not wide enough for a 16 millimeter to keep it all in. So I gave up. And so what I ended up doing was faking it and kind of using the RGBs to change that and create a vibe because I couldn't just do it all in one solid background. And in a way, I'm kind of glad it worked out the way it did. But yeah. I'm going to wait for all of you guys because you guys are all coming over and you're going to help me paint my studio neutral gray. So I'm looking forward to that. See you guys on Saturday morning. Cool. Right?
We'll bring, pizza and beer.
No, you're going to bring your paint brushes and you're going to get down here and help me paint this thing Stonington.
God. But he says not yet. It's still out of stock. And because the one that I had sent him, I know was like a new release too, but it just was for the money for $1,100 to have a 3050 and to have 16 gigs and to have a new Ryzen chip. We're all like really good factors at that point. So
I'm going to have to get a new one soon, I think. So when is the trailer premiere? Yeah. So let's not build it up. It's just a minute and a half of me talking to you guys sitting here, but it's an editing. So, I mean, I'm hoping, not hoping next week it'll have to be up at some point. So I have to, and the nice thing is I need to get it up because I have a backlog of my ideas to get to.
He's saying hope so.
I didn't. I skipped that. I said hope. I said, no, not hope. It has to be up next week.
Yeah, you got to have it up.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have it up 4 weeks ago at least.
No, I wasn't because I didn't have my camera that I needed and I couldn't get the stupid 850.
I like when he gets fired up.
Yeah, I'm going to get fired up. You start telling me I needed it done 4 weeks ago. I'm going to get on a plane and fire that up. That's going to fire me up a little bit.
Well, it's coming soon, and I'm excited to see it actually. So
I'm excited only, if nothing else, just so I can, what it's done is, and I'm going to call him out, but Brian has been very instrumental today again, helping with some technical issues that I was having and some setups. And what all this is doing is just getting you through the flow. When you have all these new when you have this new equipment and a new and all this, you're trying to just get your original flow together. Yeah, I could have used a phone. I could have just sat here and used a phone and said, hey guys, here's what my channel is going to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just a person that knows I'm going to have to go through this process anyway. So why not just get it out of the way? Just go ahead and pull the wisdom teeth and let's go. And now I understand my flow and everything's working out. And I'm actually very happy with how it's working out, to be honest with you.
I think you just the last week you've made leaps and bounds on everything with having the new camera, having a new mic set up, and working out the in-betweens and the scene in the background. Yeah, it's just been really, really a huge plus. And it showed by the reaction last week when you did all that. And
I'm so excited just to move past it. And we're getting there. I love it. I'm literally there. We shot the footage, and it's just for me sitting here, but it's footage, right? So
absolutely. I just want to say, Vince said your backdrops look great, good contrast. So,
man, Vince, thank you.
We really appreciate that. Thank you.
Here. Yeah.
And then Brian's asking, who would want to come to a live stream? We just talk about didn't we just do this, Brian? I'm just kidding, Brian. I'm there. You tell me, because I know you were hinting that maybe you wanted to do a little live stream on Friday. So let us know. And if you're going to do something on StreamYard, let us know. Because I'll talk to the wife. I'll see what we got going on. And you let me know a time. And I'll definitely jump on with you in there if that's what you're looking for. Or even if you just do your own thing, I'm there.
Always. Yeah, absolutely.
So. Yeah,
I was considering, because Brian is a photographer and who's into the same process. He was agreeing to be my guinea pig in Notion to bring him in as a demo. I might do that on one of my lives on Notion to bring him in and just say, let's talk about your cluster.
We can at least have Aaron said he can help with the paint. I'm actually thinking about painting one extra wall in my studio, same dark gray. I think the dark gray is awesome, and that was my wife's suggestion, and it just was. I think she made a great suggestion with that, because I was either gonna I didn't want to go white, because she was like white.
It's gonna bounce off in that small room, and it's just reflective as hell.
It's not. I tell you, it's not it's a good size room, though. I tell you that
it's too small for white.
Yes, yeah. So I think this was a great choice. She makes a very good choices with that stuff.
Well, anyway. I knew gray just because, but I'd always been looking at your gray, and then I saw it more in our post talks because you had the RGB off, and I'm like, I'm digging that gray. And I've kicked around some other grays like Gray Owl and Silver Dollar, and I told you I got those things from Sample Eyes to stick on the wall. So I'm going to do a little I may just do a phone thing on that just to show how that studio stuff is done in case anybody's interested. I'm anxious to see what happens when we change this very odd color down here to something a little bit more neutral. I think it's going to have a huge impact.
I think it's going to look great.
I think so too.
Right off the bat. Scrap Stash is stopping in.
Tracy,
thank you so much. Yeah, Tracy. And she is always doing, all kinds of, what's that? Yeah, she's, good morning, everyone. To you. First of all, she's in the Philippines.
She is.
She's like 12 hours difference, I think, exactly. And she says, good morning, evening to you both, John and AJ. Everyone spells it backwards because if you type it fast. Listening to you while you do watercolor. She's doing watercolors. That's awesome.
Watercolor is so hard. I have one of my best friends who owns a llama farm now. Is an amazing watercolorist. I used to sit and watch. That is hard. It's one of the hardest mediums to really control on spread and watercolor. So hard as compared to acrylic and all that. So much respect on that.
So check out her channel. She's always doing, constructive stuff and designing and working with Mommy Lala on her channels. And then it's very soothing actually sometimes. And I like to watch. Yeah. Do you find the same way?
Yeah. I don't know why. It reminds me of, I can't remember his name. The guy with the afro who did the painting. I remember on Sundays.
Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Yeah.
Bob Ross. He just put me to sleep. I'd nap, and there's something so calming, and love that energy.
Yeah, we're doing great. We actually had a great stream.
Yeah,
We
we
talked
had great
about a
people
lot of,
tonight. Oh my
yeah, oh
God, the
yeah,
people,
fantastic crew here.
everybody
We
tonight's
really
great.
discussed some really good stuff. And I like to talk about the goals. We talked about a lot of the way about how we feel and how we're putting together being a content creator and how to organize things, about how we all have stress and we put the stress on each other in different ways. So it was a lot of really good talk and a lot of informative stuff, I feel,
Yeah,
because it let everybody know that we relate, right? We relate to all that.
I do. I mean, I know you do. I mean, we have so many life experiences that relate from pains and struggles to wanting to do something creative to failing. I mean, we all been there. So I mean, you're just speaking from experience.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
it's easy to relate to all this for me. I mean, as a musician, I can tell you it's pretty much all the same pains and suffering, but um,
Yeah. I mean, it's relatable in every which way, though. A life in general is always about organizing, getting things set in right orders, coping with your stresses around you. And so the
I think
feeling
the
is,
difference though, there's a difference though, because when you're speaking about putting your art on the line and having to deal with expectations of yourself, but also dealing with putting out
yes,
there for people to make a judgment, there becomes a different relationship to the emotional attachment to that. But you're right about the other
no, no,
part, you know.
that's an absolutely great point. And I was going to say, like, leading into it, it's like, it's every aspect of life is like that, but then put this together with YouTube
Oh,
and then
sorry.
adding it in. No, but you're absolutely right, because not everybody is as comfortable as, maybe, like, people look at us and they're like, we've heard compliments that we look comfortable up here, and I think that's a work in process, and we're lucky. Maybe we're comfortable in one aspect, but we all struggle with something. And we talk about our struggles, and we're okay about talking about them. And that's what I like a lot of times, that we're just upfront and honest, and we share our opinions with each other. So that's really cool.
Yeah. That's what it's right. Just giving and giving it
So
out.
everybody's saying hi and stopping in. That stopped in a little bit later. And yeah, Brian, so you just got to say the word and let us know. It's always good to throw it up like a day beforehand, if you can, at least, so that way it will give everybody a heads up and we can figure out where to set a time frame. But, listen, any chance I can be on the other end and make comments while you're streaming, I'm there, bro.
Mhm.
That was sarcastic too. I don't know why can't you laugh?
You want me to laugh?
Yeah, you were supposed to laugh at that, and you're like, "Oh my god, did he just
Was
say
that
that?"
sarcastic?
Yes, of course it was.
Anytime you're streaming and
That
you
I
can
can,
get a
like, bust him on the other side, like, he throws a comment
oh,
in or this or that. But
I honestly thought you were just taking shots.
because Brian, if you guys don't know, right? Brian's been here from the get go for
He's the
us.
original stream buddy.
Yeah, I mean, he's right here from the beginning. First stream, first day, first comment, first one of the first people we ever had on in general. Always supportive, always adding to the streams, along with the other people that we continue to roll with. And so now it's like we have Lala stopping in, Mommy Guide, right? She's always here. She's always giving great input. She's always contributing, and she always, even when we talk about tech, she has stuff to go in there, you know what I mean? And talk about, which is like, this is from a lady who's not tech savvy, she says. So it's like, for her to come in and support and give feedback on things that people like to talk about, which is like, people are talking about the wave all the time. So if you can get some information from a lady who's using it and how it didn't work out well and what she's using now, I mean, this is why a community is good, because we have so many people using a lot of different things and can give input back and forth, right?
Yeah, it's what didn't work that usually is almost as more helpful than what did work.
Right.
Having that information,
And we like to stop by. It's the same feeling that we get with everybody, is the energy that we have with people, is that what we want to share. And sometimes people don't realize this, but man, the energy that you give off is what draws people to come in to you. It's not always just the topic alone. And then all of a sudden you have friendships with people in different realms, and different, and YouTube lets this happen. And so we're very lucky to have a platform where this kind of stuff can happen. And only
I'm
thing I
gonna
can
be
say
so
is,
glad. On a personal level, I'll be so glad when this original setup stuff is done. I haven't been able to dip in as many streams as I've wanted to, and that's always hard, because you're trying to find and get yourself righted and started, and you're just like, oh no. And
yeah,
I'm missing a lot of streams that I know that I would like to take in. So
I enjoy it, and I really don't watch a lot of TV to begin with.
I know I don't either. So I'd rather watch people than support them.
Exactly. And so I want to thank Mommy Lala too for just coming in and letting people know and giving a reminder. I mean, that just goes to show you, you know what I mean? Like it just goes to show you, and that's really appreciative.
Oh,
And
what I love too is they're right up the type of streaming buddies we've always talked about. We really wanted
founding member.
Yeah, he's kind of a founding member.
Yep.
Yeah, he is. Oh my goodness.
He's the OG floppy Java.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, baby. That's laying the smackdown, Will, right there.
I mean, there's going to be some trouble at work. He's not right in the head, but he's not probably wrong either.
This is good stuff, and I like having fun too. And this is great that we can have a couple laughs along the way. And I think like sometimes we overthink. Well, listen, we do. This is what we do as content creators a lot of times. We overthink everything. And I was like trying to think in my head last week, like what should we talk about? Because I can find anything to talk about. And Jeff is a great co-host, and we can bounce things back and forth, and we don't have a lack of words, really, right? I mean, we don't.
No, and that's a good thing, because you don't want us sitting up here looking at each other. I mean, it's not like we're a whole lot to look at. So you need something coming out of our mouths. Or you could do sock puppet shows or something. But,
yeah, but we always can talk. We can talk about anything.
Oh yeah, you and I could talk for hours and hours and hours anyway, and I think we
yeah, and so that's great when we can. I can just say, you know what? I'm not going to overthink this. This is great because was in my head this last week, just talking about like coming forth this past half of the year, because there were a lot of struggles with everybody, right? There's still people in other countries are still struggling. Lala was just talking about this the other day.
They're not that quite caught up.
They're not in the same position.
They're still dealing,
Yeah, and there's other variants that are moving about, causing issues, and so we have an outcome that we don't know to see where it goes yet.
This is a lovely comment. I think.
This is fantastic. I super appreciate John and Sammy stopping by almost every stream I have. The thing you have here, J.A. and John, is amazing. I feel like this is almost like too much. This
would be a testimonial that we put on our homepage for our website. Yes. Because I feel safe to comment and not be judged may be the biggest compliment you can give. So give up.
It literally almost brings tears to my eyes, because this is the stuff that I talk about. And there is not about being judged. And listen, we can joke. Yeah. And we can joke. And I love that people can get people. And see, now, like when I talk with Brian more and more, and I talk with Jeff, and I get to know like their sense of humors and aspects, and we all do amongst all each other, right? With Aaron here. And the whole thing is, that we get the idea of how we are. And I get like when Brian is joking now, and I picked it up.
He's like me. He's got a dry sense of humor, and it takes a minute to kind of get the angle of what he is doing. Right. I mean, am I wrong? He's Bob Newhart of.
I get him, and we can joke back and forth, and we can give each other what I wanted to say is like, we get when we're joking. No, I'm just saying, because I'm going off here too, and I'm reading comments, but I get what, we can be constructive about giving each other tips on what they could improve on, and not anyone taking it bad, but we understand each other and we can accept things, and that we aren't judging each other. And God forbid, if someone is going to be judging, they're going to hear it too, so we're not here about judging. We're here about learning.
Yeah, there's a difference between judgment and saying, I'm going to give you an honest opinion or critique to help you improve. I think that's what you're going to say too. Right?
So Aaron's talking about the topic of my recent video. That's what he was saying, is taking new members. Heather requested membership. So Heather Ramirez is they over and Tom are starting a community group too. I already put my request. I already sent mine in because no matter what, I don't find myself, I'm not going to probably go and take Tom's podcasting webinar. Okay. And
Right.
and certain things I'm not saying that I may need exactly. And they are always stressing about worrying about overselling and underselling, whatever the case is. They fight with it because they want to make people feel that, listen, and it's okay to sell yourself. It's okay to have stuff that you get paid for to move forward. People make decisions whether or not they want to be involved with those things, and it's okay to pat yourself on the back and have a business. And in the end, people are going to be, whether or not they're going to know if they congeal with you or not, and what type of people you are, and they're going to make a big boy decision or big girl decision of whether or not they want to be part of that community. So that's the way I think.
Let me spin off for a second. I want to
Go
ask
ahead.
because we're talking about critiques. So I've been using this mic up here. If anybody can let me know, because I turned off everything filter, so I have no noise suppression or anything. Can you just let me know if there's too much air from the room?
I noticed a difference.
Okay, and that's good to know. And B, how the sound volume is. I may just jump on OBS here in a minute, just turn back on the noise suppression.
I think the sound volume sounds improved over last week. Yeah. And from what I feel on my end over here, sometimes that's hard to tell always, but it sounds like you're up a little bit. But the other thing is there's more air. I definitely hear it, and I definitely notice a difference. And it was actually something I was going to talk to you with after we get off the stream.
That's fine. I just turned on noise suppression a little bit. I'm going to see how that affects things and does anything. So
yeah. So, I mean, keep on talking a little bit, and then we'll see the difference in
I'll
how
keep talking, and we'll see what happens. So
right.
I've been playing around with it, and I want to use as less effects or anything that we can on going in. So I turned all that off the other day, but I've been playing around with it a little bit, but part of it's where it's going to be and how far away it is. And so, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. You sound pretty decent. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I like it in general. I like it. I just it's hard because I want to get this closer, but
it's definitely further away, and I can sense that, but
you're here though. It's really not that far. So that's kind of a little bit, but
I bet you it was 4 inches closer on last stream.
No, but it could be a couple things. That might have been a little bit more directed at my mouth where this is coming at an angle.
Gotcha.
So I think I might have had it a little bit more facing me. So that can play a role in that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can also take the noise. I could take the filter off. Maybe.
Oh, you don't need that. Yeah, you shouldn't need that.
So take stuff like that off. We'll see. I'm just playing around, guys.
I kind of actually think that sounded better right off the bat.
Just taking that out.
Yeah.
There's a little more clarity, less sock.
The noise gate that you have, our suppression is cutting off a little bit of your front end of your word.
Yeah. See, that's the thing I don't like about
that. I hate that. I hate it.
I just hate that. So it's a fight.
Yeah, but this is what we work out in the end. That's what we got to work on. So Will says, I was spoiled in my previous job to have Brian Paul and others like him. Now I'm a one-man band, and I learned enough from watching Brian. So there you go. Yeah. So Brian is super knowledgeable in his field, and there's no doubt about that. And that's why I'm excited to see what he does. It doesn't make me have different expectations. It's just that I just want to see Brian do what is going to make him happy. That's what it comes down to. And
potential realized on some whatever,
I know he wants to do this, and so seeing him do it, no matter what, I'm going to applaud it and say let's just keep on going, bro. This is just the beginning, and so that's what I love.
Yeah. So
I do have a dry sense of humor. I hear that a lot. Well, so do I, Brian. Trust me. I think you're in good company. Yeah.
We get it.
You're in very good company, so don't feel bad about that.
It's a desert in here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And so that's kind of fun. But he said, Will says Brian's humor is so dry that he's not allowed in several Western states.
Now he's a fire hazard. Can't.
Yeah.
Washington, California. I'm sure.
So
New
Listen,
Mexico.
I am I'm one in the same boat. Trust me, I'm a little over the top sometimes. And I guess growing up, if people don't realize it, like if you're from New York, New Jersey, or maybe California, I mean, it's a whole different ball game here. I mean, when we drive to like Florida and we stop in like North Carolina and the waitresses actually say, "Hey, good morning, how you doing?" We're like, everybody's blown away. Like that's all we used to hear is like, "Oh, we stop at the Pancake House and people are so friendly." Yeah, because we live in New York and New Jersey, people are shoving you out of the way.
It's so funny. I had some friends from LA come here and stay, and there's like a walking path behind our deal. And they would take walks in the morning. They would come home and they would literally say, "It's so annoying because everybody says hi that you walk past." And I'm
Right.
like, you're annoyed that people will say hi to you? I don't understand, but they don't
I
get
know.
that.
It's always different.
Yeah.
Brian says he doesn't hear much air. So, but
No.
I definitely notice a difference compared to last week. I'm not saying it sounds bad
Yeah.
at any means, but I just notice a little bit of a difference.
Okay. I'm just curious because he says it's so much brighter now after I removed the sock. And I guess my next follow up to that was brighter in a good way.
No.
Or,
Well, brighter means I think he's hearing a little bit more of your highs and your sound a little clearer to me, I would say, if I'm not mistaken, Brian. Would you agree with that?
articulation, maybe. is what
Did
he
you
meant.
take your noise suppression off yet?
No, I did not.
Do me a favor, take it off and let me see the difference in
Okay,
that too.
hang on. You were probably going to really notice it without the sock on.
Yeah, but maybe I just in general it sounds clearer all the way.
1 second here. I'm sorry.
Whenever I take my socks off, I'm much clearer.
No, I'm not even close. Okay, I removed it, so we'll go with that for a minute, and we'll just.
I love it.
We'll see where we go. I think it's
I
definitely
think
more
it's
articulate.
I think it's
and,
great right now.
Yeah, the presence.
I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy about the way you sound.
Yeah, me too. This is definitely the way to go. We're going to really work this out, and I like the fact that I'm using an overhead mic that's for a drone.
Dude, this sounds good. The sock off, and look at he agrees with me. More detail, more high end.
Yeah.
See, Brian, I'm not as dumb as people think. I try to tell them, but they don't believe me.
You're like
dude,
trying to convince people. I'm not dumb.
I'm
not dumb.
It's, you know what? I find it's pretty amazing that some guy like me knows as much as I do about cameras and mics and stuff that is all self-taught. I guess, it's like sometimes we don't give ourselves any credit, but being a YouTuber, man, like, I don't know. Where did people learn all this stuff? Because they must go to school like Brian did, because like, I don't know if you guys understand, but the software I have in front of me, and like it's like a production studio in here. People laugh when they come over and see this up on the computer. It cracks me up.
Well, I mean, yeah,
they do. It's just like take a. I'll even just show you really quick. What do we got? Screen 2. Here's what this looks like.
You, Brian.
What is he saying? Look at this. Look what I got on the screen.
That's too many of you, John. Stop. That's too many of you.
That's too many. That's the infinite.
This is like water torture. It's just too much of you.
So, Mommy Lala, really quick, keep your thought. Mommy Lala is saying, yes, Brian, just say when and the time and we'll be there. So definitely do that, Brian. Let us know when you say you're going to do it.
Yeah, do it.
Yep. There you go.
John. Okay. All right.
Says Jeff sounds better for sure.
All right.
We agree a lot, John. Yeah, we do. We do.
Are you seriously going to make me look at like 9,000s of you?
Yeah, I want to see if anybody realized like this is what is in front of me, and this is only one aspect of what's going on. There's so much going on with the stuff that Jeff and I do. And when you're talking about people that literally just learned this stuff in the last couple of months.
vMix is it's an investment of some effort. I mean, it's not, OBS is, you walk into OBS and you're like, well, whatever, OBS. It's not that hard. I mean, there's some issues of it if you want to get deeper into. Yeah, it's a little more difficult, but Threshold's not bad. vMix is a little bit of a different animal.
No, but to see people go in and learn OBS, I mean, it's not a small task to take on for someone that's never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, unless for me, it wasn't. I do software all the time, though. But I mean, if you've never really been into that type of stuff, yeah, it's going to throw you.
Yeah. Well, I think I think Brian's right. And this is what I was talking about, right? On my list that we talked about goals was but to pat yourself on the back, give yourself some credit. Because we all have life. Life comes first, and then we just keep on going. And put that on, with doing YouTube, with your family, with personal goals, with health goals, family goals, relationship. If I didn't have a wife right now
my God.
that supported this,
I can't even imagine me either.
yeah, you and I both, right? It's like, but that goes for everybody.
Yeah. I don't
We
know.
could do a
I'm
whole
very
show
grateful.
on that.
Yeah, we could, because I can tell you, I don't think I would have made it this far. I know I wouldn't have made it this far without that support. And
Yeah.
so I know how important it is. And I know not everybody has that. That's why I want to be that support for people who don't have that, that have a void of somebody there. Cause it's hard. I'm an empathetic person, man. I'm going to feel your energy. So if if you come in here in pain, I'm going to know.
I mean, we all are struggling with things because this is a fact of life. But
struggling is one thing, but struggling without a support system is another.
To know that we have people that can back up and give good answers and give good info is like a godsend. Having people like Aaron here and Brian and Will and Mami Lala and like literally people that all give great input on things that we're talking about, Consistent Ash and Robert from Spoke Audio, like all these people are here. And when they get involved in a topic, they have no problem dropping their thought process on things and dropping some knowledge on things too, which is very helpful.
Well, I can tell you the quality of the stream is only going to
get better.
It's only going to be about the quality of the comments being dropped in the end, right? So if everybody's just but there must be a great stream because the content being dropped in the comment sections are very high quality. So I think, it's kind of one of those deals like you can judge your life by the people that you surround yourself with, that are around you. And I feel pretty comfortable now. I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no more of that inception mode of John.
So I think that's all really important stuff, and it's really the people that are here, like Jeff just said, that make the stream happen. When we have like these really good answers and really good comments, I mean, that just makes it a better stream and easier for us, but it also just is important stuff because when we talk about things that people are having difficult times trying to get around certain issues, be it, emotional, physical, tech, it's to have people that can relate to all that stuff is also amazing. So,
well, and when I see Aaron's comment here, I just want to say there's another aspect to this, and that is realizing you're not alone in some of the same craziness of things that happen. Like he's saying, I just have 5 videos uploaded and feel like 100. Every time is something new, like OBS refusing to take any audio from any source. And so my point is, we can feel your pain, and it's good to know sometimes that you're not alone. Like sometimes I'm like, good, it's not just me. Like I just need to know I'm not alone sometimes in this nutsy environment, ecosystem, or whatever the situation is. So totally feel you, Aaron. I can't even tell you what happened today with some of my tech and things that just make no sense. Like you say, it's new. Like what's going on? Now mine wasn't OBS specific, but yet I'm like, why is this happening? This is either a $2,000 laptop that shouldn't be having this problem, but I know what it is, John. I had an issue going on today, and I know it's from that stupid upgrade of that display driver. Remember I had an issue, I think.
Yes.
It's just settled in to be a nagging problem. I'm going to have to blow this laptop up and rebuild it from scratch. So it's going to take a day, but my point is we all deal with these types of annoyances. Sometimes it's just good to know, man. Crazy likes crazy. So.
Yeah. And there's learning curves too. Like, I mean, once you go into DaVinci and you figure out how to use the sync process in DaVinci, then this situation could be a heck of a lot easier too.
Well, so that's a big thing is I think people don't realize, the syncing in DaVinci is just a godsend.
It's going to be a godsend for you with your clips. And I know he uses DaVinci, so I'm curious why maybe he's not using that, or he is. And listen, I know he's fighting some battles with some of his stuff because his computer has been shutting down. DaVinci was having it. Now he's saying OBS is giving him some issues. So
I feel in your pain, and
But
I
we all
am.
go
I'm just
we all go
totally.
through
I
it.
have a $2,000 computer that was working amazing until a stupid driver forced an update. So I'm going to be very curious to find out what you buy. Was he saying he's getting a laptop though?
I believe he's open to a desktop or a laptop. But
I'm going desktop again. I can't do this laptop stuff anymore.
yeah, it's hard, especially when you're trying to do what you're doing. But I mean, it can be doable. I mean, because listen, you can run a laptop. It's just like running an M1 off to the side and then run two monitors off of it.
I'm
And
doing all that. That's not the issue, but I find
yeah,
them
just
heat up
power.
quicker. They're a
Yeah.
smaller chassis. The fans have to run hotter and higher in a way because I'd rather have something with 5 or 6 fans that can offload. I like to be able to get inside and add new boards. I'm talking me now. I'm running this laptop and it should be fine. And maybe it's just me. Like I said, it was working great until a driver.
It's also you've been saying maybe you need a fresh set of windows. I mean,
I think I just need to blow it up. Sometimes you have to just blow them up, and it'll be great. So
John Pullum's in the house. I was heading to bed, and I saw you were both giving a live again. Yep. You aren't alone.
I imagine, John, you ran into a couple fun things doing all the million edits you had to do in your latest video.
Oh yeah, I saw that too, and I love the beginning of that. That kind of reminded me, like when I did my mic video in the beginning, like doing a lot of different edits. It really does make a difference, and you notice it when you watch it. It's definitely the whole point is right, making it things more engaging, and it showed.
Yeah, really, it was up to the game. Is nice.
Editing is a work in progress for me to get better all the time too.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
Manual sync tip, make shortcuts that move 1 frame to 10 frames on 4 keys left and right. Counting is much easier than that anymore. Like I don't know why you got, I don't know. I don't have a problem just using the sync right in DaVinci.
Well,
it's like,
Aaron clarified what his problem is later in this.
What did he?
He's just saying it does sync in DaVinci, but the original video doesn't have any audio. There is no way to sync. He's not wrong.
Oh,
so,
that's what he's talking about. Yeah, well, that's a little bit hard.
Poor guy, man. That's just a bummer. I really.
Oh, here he is. He is. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The audio was one from the Rodecaster, but the video itself, nothing. Wow, that's
a bummer, man. That sucks big.
Yeah. I mean that kind of stuff always happens. John says the video flopped so far. Listen, John, you just had it out, but then also you had your consultation, I know, recently. If you're putting those things in place, I don't see how good things can't happen moving forward. You know
what, John, I look at it this way, kind of like with doing a trailer or whatever. It really isn't about this video. What you did was an excuse to learn the flow, and you'll use it now probably more, maybe not even to that extent, but you'll use the smart edits you're going to use to augment your videos, and something will come from that. If you don't, I don't know what that means. Your video flopped so far. I don't know if you could judge it yet, but something good's going to come from all that effort. That's just the reality of it. Like that's a given.
Yeah. If you're taking in if you're analyzing things in the proper method, and you listen, I know you talk to somebody that knows a hell of a lot more than us. So you put those things that person told you in the right order. Then if things don't happen, I think the only thing you got to do is look at yourself and say, am I doing what I was told to do or what they suggested?
Look, at the end of the day, you can overanalyze all you want, but if someone's put it to me, do it. Something good's going to come of it. And in life, I can tell you that's been true every step of my way. Do something. It may not be what you think. Like it may not be the video, maybe whatever, but I can tell you something good's going to come from all that effort, and it's just happening. So,
yep. Yeah, as long as you listen, but the truth of the matter is effort doesn't equate success. It's part of the puzzle, right? So yeah, I think once you start figuring out what's left out in the puzzle, then everything starts falling together. And listen, that's always a work in progress to begin with. I'm always putting the puzzle together.
The success of that video was that John clearly has upped his game on editing and editing awareness. So already to me, that's success. So we're done. We've already had success.
Yeah, That is a good point, because that right then and there, that is making an improvement right there. So
that can't be lost. That's your skill that you've already upped your game. So everything else is cherry.
So Vince Portelli says, I'm not tech savvy. I installed my dash cam backwards. I thought I was recording a car accident, but it was me singing along with Gordon Lightfoot. I mean, who doesn't like Gordon Lightfoot, first of all? Okay. I mean, listen, 1978 album was the best, I think. But
Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah, that's a joke between me and him because we used to go back and forth with this Gordon Lightfoot stuff. And
well, you're an ABBA dude, so I don't.
Sweetwater Mongrel album was really good.
Oh my God, that's right. You're an Air Supply guy too.
Wow, we do it all
out of love.
We do it all.
So Lost Without You. I almost know that song.
Support systems will always be the game changer behind everything. I agree 100%.
I think it has to, not has to be, but I think it's absolutely a key component.
Yeah. That is CJ stopping in late, baby. How you doing? I don't mean late as in late that we're starting. I mean, it's getting late on the eastern side of the U.S. And I appreciate you stopping in like always. And CJ's got a little gaming channel he's got going, and he's making some great improvements. And I know he's ready to do some big stuff coming forward. I think he's going to be doing a video with his face and everything going forward very soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. Mm-hmm. So John is saying it's just YouTube not showing it, etc. I don't think the video is bad. No, not many used so far. Not part of the console at all. It will be 6 months. Okay, or work before it goes live. Okay, so right, so there's good things that you're talking about, right? Where you're not going to go and have a consultation and things are going to change right after that. It's not the way it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's like try marriage counseling, see how that works. It's not going to be like an instant fix.
Yeah, you always have to put things in as you go. And listen, fast edits is no secret. I mean, that's the stuff that Casey Neistat has worked off of, and how long has he been around? So he's the one that really pretty much brought that to the next level. And it's things that, I always planned on doing more and more, but it's something you got to learn. It's not like something that you can do like in your first couple of YouTube videos, because there's so much going on to begin with. But then when you can take a breath and you can improve on your editing, first of all, I didn't even know how to cut or use or do anything on an edit page last year. So that's enough said right there. So
just pick up a scissors and you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is fixed now. But on top of that, DaVinci had an update where they had the speed editor and
is that 17.2?
Yeah, I think it is 17.2. The speed editor is something that I would definitely like to work more on too, because I know it can save some time. I don't have a great habit of dropping it in and going through the cut section, because you can go into the cut section and listen, a lot of people just go in the edit section and that's fine. But I know that if you're a little bit smoother, you can go into the cut section first and then go into the edits and make more like final edits there. So, but everybody does everything different. Vince Portelli has, listen, we go back to high school. He has a great sense of humor. When we talk about the Gordon Lightfoot and all this stuff, we've been saying this stuff for 30 something plus years. And so we crack up because I think it's still funny, but our wives, and I've known his wife, I think I've known his wife longer than he knows her, because he went to a different middle school, I think though. But anyways, I know both of these people like practically since I was 15 years old. So 14 years old, something like that.
All right.
And Vince is pretty hilarious. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
That's okay. I'm glad you're stopping in though. And
you're not
having
late.
a
You
discussion.
got here when you needed to. It's all right.
That's it.
Thanks for saying hi, man.
Yeah, John's jumping into Daryl's jump start.
Yep. Saw that.
I started in John Ryan's Jumpstart.
Yeah.
I'm full force now.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I put jumper cables on me one night and started. That's just the way that rolls.
I'm not there yet. I'm not full force. I got my floppy and my SCSI drive out still, but when I get full force, you better watch out.
You betcha.
John pulling true. I was late even using my taupe.
Tube? Does he mean
Toupee. Toupee. That's the word, freaking toupee.
Well, it's missing another E.
Is it?
2 E's, I believe.
But
it's okay.
It's a bald thing. It's a bald thing. I love it. That's this whole thing though is, just about, are you resetting yourself? If you have to, have you done a gut check? And kind of like a lot of this stuff that John is talking about, that's what I talked about earlier in the stream, reanalyzing myself, reevaluating, trying to do things to get myself in a proper mindset, to structure things out, to be more effective. And I don't think you're going to find this stuff by reading any YouTube book that's out there, to be honest with you, because these are real people doing real things every day in the same situation as someone starting something new. And as you start something new, this YouTube is always evolving. I mean, you're always going to have the true factors where people are going to say, your thumbnail means this and your title means this and your SEOs means this. I've heard it a million billion times, but still people are still having problems with knowing simple tech and starting an editing program. And so that doesn't change. But that technology always is moving forward, because what people are streaming with last year wasn't around. Like, you go back to StreamYard, people weren't using StreamYard like they were now last year. So who's telling people, who's writing books about all this? I mean, people are talking to each other and they're letting everyone know about these things. And people are using YouTube also for these factors.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, this is a lot of new info, bro. Like the whole thought process on the equipment used and everything coming out, like an ATEM Mini was like a dream come true for a lot of people that didn't exist like 3 years ago. So it's like all these things, a Stream Deck that people didn't even know existed. They thought all gamers would always have it. You know what I mean? So there's just a million things that we can go on and on about, which we do sometimes. So
we go on
and on to the break of dawn. So what's everybody saying here?
We're getting caught up on words.
The one cool idea to try is that he needs a different camera angle on to make it look truly like a second shot. Is flipping the video. I noticed the flip. I did see the flip and I got it. And I think it was effective. So I did see it. I caught it right away because I knew it was a flip, but it didn't matter because I think it really, I think it added to it. So it didn't take away. That's definitely true. So I did notice it right away. So I thought that was a good plus, because anytime you got any break in the movement or things going on, even when you switch things, I could sit here and if I went back and forth and kept on switching like this, like 20 times as our stream is going on, you better believe that people would jump in here. Because they do. It's happened before where I'm going through like this and all of a sudden like people see this kind of stuff and then all of a sudden they're like jumping in. Look there's Jeff hanging out.
Hey.
So it's kind of like funny. But here's the console. There was nothing like I've heard before. Yeah, I'm sure. No, I understand that. It's about understanding a lot more things that are deeper, which you need. I don't think you need like someone to tell you about a thumbnail. It's listen, the main fact, if they're telling you about a thumbnail, get your money back. But listen, yeah. But the thing is, I think the most thing that they probably going to tell you, and I'm not even going to guess what you were talking about. I'm not even going to look what you just typed and put, but if it had an answer, but I would think about I think he probably accentuated on the fact of who are you making these videos for? Who are the people who will be watching the videos? When you know who your YouTuber is, you're going to make product for those people and really hone in on who those people are. And I bet you that was the main topic of what you talked about and which sounds simple, but it's not. So if I'm close, even let me know. I'll be surprised. I'm going to use a Rodecaster Pro as a switcher for a second camera. And you could do that. I think it's more hassle than it is, but I mean, you can do that. Sure. I mean, you technically could. I just think Aaron, you don't have a Stream Deck, because it'd just be, if he doesn't, then that would make sense, because he probably doesn't, because why would you use your Rodecaster?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, obviously.
No, I'm saying, why would you use your Rodecaster if you had a Stream Deck? So he probably doesn't have a Stream Deck. I would say.
I think I'd almost rather just use than the phone version of the Stream Deck.
Yeah,
It
I
just be
wouldn't,
something like that.
because it's not as simple as he thinks. I don't think, and I think that when you see that, maybe you might change your mind.
Yeah.
Because there's something about switching and then switching back that isn't as fluid, and I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. The Rodecaster for that. You'd have to do it.
I'm glad you caught it. Yeah, no, I absolutely did. It does make it look like an edit. Yes, absolutely. Just a visual change to keep my, yeah, absolutely. And those are all things that, here's the thing, John, like sometimes people are at different levels, right? So I always talk about, and I think you would definitely be, saying the same thing. When you start editing, first it's like about clean cuts in all your edits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clean in, clean out. Your audio then is next, like making sure that your audio is good all the way through and how you can improve that even better. And then it's like adding slowly, like little effects here and there. And then when you get to the point where you get good with those things, then I think the next step is doing what you did, which is adding cuts, sometimes I'll add a little zoom, even if it's like 10% or 20%. And when you pop in back and forth a little bit, it gives you some movement, which I think is good. And so those types of things make a definite difference. For one time, I was a guest on his live stream and we talked about who is my viewer is. This one was more of who I am and much more. Right. No, I get it. Because he has to try to know where you want to go with things and where you want to go so he can tell you and give you info about how you really get to that other point. But I get it. No, I get it. And it was life-changing. Well, that's good. If it was life-changing, then we should absolutely in 6 months see a big difference in your channel.
That's awesome. Congrats, man.
Because if it was life-changing, then and you walked out of there like, well, holy crap, there's no doubt that you would be able to make a huge improvement.
No, I mean, if you get a light bulb like that, I mean, that can be life-changing, for some people. So
this is absolutely right here. And I don't think you have to, yeah, you log in twice. So you can come in and you can use your phone as a second login, and then you can use that as a camera. That's absolutely true. But I think he's trying to get a different angle just to keep things rolling. Like if I had two cameras here, or even if you look at Nick Nimmin when he does a live stream and he goes back and forth like with another camera, and he'll have like a behind the scenes or he'll have a front, and just that kind of movement when you're doing a live stream is more engaging, right? When you're switching back and forth a little bit too. So. But here's a good point. Someone was enjoying themselves. I went to the beach today you lost your glasses and you had to buy new ones at the beach. So you lost your glass in the sand. Oh, and sand is all there for free. Sorry about that.
That's a tough one. That's kind of irony.
That's
in a way.
Not fun.
Right? It's not fun.
No.
And then if I lose that, then my wife's gonna go like, "What did you do? Why? Why do you lose things?"
So he's saying a hassle, really? No, listen, I think you got to try it. You can go and try it. There's no doubt. I have to take a look. I'm honestly haven't seen how it works exactly with the Rodecaster firmware update. I have the update, but I haven't used it for that. All I really cared about was having the ASIO drivers. So that's the reason why I updated. And then there's a couple updates too for the buttons for added music and stuff. But it does work easier with a Stream Deck. And I wish I could think off the top of my head. I just remember that switching with this is not as easy as I think it is. So go for it, try it out, and then you'll actually have an answer and then actually make a video. There you go. You have more video content right there.
Yeah, I spent all this time and it didn't work and I'm not happy. So here's my video, which is sometimes the best video.
Right. I mean, that could be a hit right there, because if you figure that out and people want to look and find that about how to use it, the MIDI channels. Then,
right.
Yeah. So I told him where I wanted to go and he told me to go in a different direction, totally new channel. Yeah, I mean, well, that would make total sense, and that's not something haven't been told before, too, because you told me that that's what Nick told you a while ago, too. But that makes perfect sense. I mean, that's probably the easiest thing to look at, but I just find it hard. Like, I just think that there's a lot of stuff going on your channel that confuses a lot of people. I think they look at it and they don't like, are you going with music? Are you doing too, buddy? Are you a motivational speaker? And I think there's not having different ideas, so many of them in such a short time, I think can be confusing. And I think no matter what, if you were to start a new channel or not, if you just honed in on that one concept and really went full blown with it, I think that you would see an influx right there. But I suspect
what happened is that he took all the things he's doing and all these channels, and Daryl's like, oh, you need to do this. So maybe in a way he did
a clean slate,
just maybe clean slate, and maybe in a direction that John wasn't seeing clearly, because he's trying to find that groove, right? That something that'll grab into it. I don't know, because as he says, he doesn't really want to mention it right now. I can respect that, but it'd be interesting to see if it was something where he's like, well, this is all good, but maybe he said the same thing. Maybe it is a little bit jarring and confusing.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that. But I think that the other thing is as long as you're not looking at things where it's all about the monetization again and that kind of situation, because you got to be passionate about this new channel. You got to be passionate about the new channel. You got to have conceptual ideas that can take fold and you can run with them and make them, make people come to you for those reasons. Yeah. And that's not an easy task for anyone to do, because that's what we're all striving to do, right? And actually, with a little insight from a couple people, I found out that I niched down to helping new streamers and new, YouTubers, because
right. But that's the thing. Like, I look at John and I think, oh, okay, so even he says, well, it kind of feels all over the place. But my attitude on that is, yeah, but you got there from there. So in other words, that seems like chaos, and you took the chaos somewhere because you tried all those things, and then you got a good answer, or you feel like you got a good answer in a good direction. So, look, that's what I'm saying. Something good comes of it. Yeah. You just got to keep working the issue,
And that's the thing, though. As long as if he takes the passion and doesn't get caught up with leaving the old channel, and he puts his efforts forth and what he learned and what he was told, okay, I don't see how it can't be a win after the first year, right? Because it's going to be.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what he's going towards, but I think he's really passionate about like helping and life motivation. I know he's done a lot of motivation stuff. I don't know if it's that, because it sounds like it's a different direction, but I have to believe it has to be in something into this support of helping yada. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. Well, we can always make predictions, but let's see what happens. I got to fly in here.
So he says the thing he suggested is nothing that I've done. Yes, Jeff, totally different direction. So and it doesn't really matter what it is. I think it just matters that it's what you're thinking it's going to be when you go forward, right? So do you have ideas of monetization? And these are all the things that you would have to think about. Are you passionate about this? Because listen, there are a lot of things that people are passionate about that aren't like going to be a big seller on YouTube, and they're prepared for that or they're not. And no matter what, it doesn't matter to them because they're just passionate about it. And it also, that passion rides through and does make them popular. So there's possibilities everywhere, but being passionate about it and being excited about it and actually getting your message across in the end is going to be fruitful in the end. And I think if you put all those things together with a tad of your humor and don't oversell yourself, I think that people will get all that. because the minute that you try to do those types of things, especially because that's going to be a very hard thing for him moving forward, to start a new channel where no one knows really who he is or what's going on. He's trying to draw a whole new crowd in. He can't be the person that everybody knows. You know what I mean? Because it's going to take.
That can be a freeing thing too, though.
Oh, it's freeing, but I'm saying your whole attitude has to change on your approach, because now, these are going to be.
I got the vibe just from the effort that he's doing, that he welcomes that. That's.
Oh,
yeah. That it's just about whatever. If I don't know what he's doing, but it sounds. I'm going to guess that whatever direction that he was pointed in also met up with his passion. I don't know.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I would hope, because that's what you want, right?
Sure.
A video about the Rodecaster Pro felt out of the balcony, and a Go XLR landed on my lap. Kidding. I just love my Rodecaster. That would be a funny one, though.
I think he took a shot at me last week about my Go XLR Mini.
I did?
No,
he did? I want to do something nutty, like a live gaming stream of Oregon Trail. So should I do 2 channels, or just make it a YouTube channel and put all my nutty ideas in one bag? I think that's a good question.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to think.
I think it all depends what your thought process is, because I think if you just want to get out and create, that's the most important thing. And then when you find out what drives you the most, then make that channel about that, and then roll with it. But right now, I say have fun, make new channels, make different topics, see what really makes you feel good in the end, and where the attention is drawn. And listen, you can make a new channel and 2 separate channels. Who stops you from making multiple channels and then actually do a test and see what you enjoy, and then delete the old channel or whatever you want to do. But at this point, I wouldn't even worry about that. I would just enjoy making what you're making, and then find out what drives you to be, and what excites you and makes you happy about what you're doing. Because in the end, listen, to be really truthful, I'm going to be really honest with you. And I love tech. Don't get me wrong. I love tech. I like everything there is to do about tech. And technology has always been an interest for me for like 25 years. But along the lines of John, I love motivation and talking to people and giving and being part of someone's heart and soul, and having, someone find clarity in a lot of decision making and all these types of things. And that's why I get why John wants to do it, because it's so fulfilling. I mean, you can't get that kind of feeling back from doing tech stuff, helping people and getting through their hardships. Yes. But to be able to help someone with something about that's truly inspirational, like kind of like what Zan talks about also, to me, it's a really incredible feeling, I think.
Yeah.
That's just me. The money I'm making on YouTube at the moment is laughable. Started at 0 until okay, good, John. Good for you, man. And when you start that new channel, then you just let us know, and we're going to be jumping right on board with it. And I'm all for that. I think it's long overdue, and I think it's going to be a huge plus for you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be really interesting. I'm just curious to see what the direction is. That's going to be interesting to see.
Well, I hope you picked out some new glasses that are fashionable, okay? Because you're going to be on a YouTube channel with these new glasses. So, CJ, you better have something that's fashionable, okay? I'm telling you that right now.
Integrated.
So, Brian Paul, niche that Oregon Trail game down to 1 channel. That's what John says.
That's 1 channel, huh?
Kidding, Jeff. I do like the Go XLR, but don't need one. The guys promised a video about Rodecaster versus Go XLR.
Yeah. I knew you were kidding last week. I laughed because I think I was the one slamming the audio routing issue I was having last week, and you picked up on it, and it's deservedly so. We are going to have to do this video. The Go XLR has been out a couple of years now, and I've seen people try to kill it. There are some new things that are trying to kill it. They're just not. But there is the issue with something I'm having. But again, I'm almost afraid to blame the XLR right now because I'm having a computer problem and I don't know exactly. We're going to play around. We're going to do some
I mean, he may not be having issues, but I know there's known issues with it.
There are, but a lot of that has been cleaned up with the updates. I've not had issues outside of some of it's been me. And then there's the issue. You have to be aware of what is happening with StreamYard, but that can be true with so many things.
Yeah, I don't think that's
some
related.
of it has been but this issue, as far as the memory, my settings never
do that, right?
So that's not the settings, but there is something going on, and I just can't pinpoint who to blame. Windows has not been my friend, but then again, this laptop, since we moved stuff over from the desktop, it's been a little bit
it hasn't been as smooth as the old laptop.
The old desktop,
the old one too. Oh, the old desktop, right? But the fact of the matter is I don't have it in front of me, but I know that you said that Windows possibly fights the software there. And here's the problem. If it were me, and I don't know, is do they have a new team there at the that are making the GoXLR software, because these people up and left, and is there support there, and are things improving?
I don't trust the future of GoXLR now.
So that would bother me in general. Whereas Rode is a big company and they're always improving.
I wouldn't push people necessarily into GoXLR, but at the same time, again, for certain niche people and certain situations, for the money, I still think it is a better idea. But it comes with caveats, and believe me, that video is written itself. I already know exactly A to Z my review on this GoXLR, pros and cons.
I have a little tip up your sleeve, because I know you belong to Alpha Gaming.
I know. I saw the video.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, again, I was thinking about getting that and tying that to my GoXLR and playing with that.
I was thinking about getting rid of this altogether and just using an audio interface with that.
Pretty cool. I'm going to get them like $90, I think, or something like that for the main. That's a pretty slick tool.
It is a slick tool, and I don't even need the big one, but it just makes sense to get it because it's $25 difference.
Yeah, no, you'd be foolish not to. I just like having the sliders with the push buttons.
Yes.
I just think that this is...
It's like another Stream Deck almost, too.
Yeah, it is, but it's a Stream Deck with sliders, and just you've got... you saw it, too. I saw it, and I went, that's on my list.
Well, the most important thing for me is the audio routing.
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
That's what my thing is.
It's not going to do with like Loopback does with routing into StreamYard, though.
It's going to use existing audio configuration.
Yeah, your Windows, right? So that's not going to solve every issue for me.
But for GoXLR, already has the routing and extra channels, so you can leverage that. So immediately when he showed that, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. For $90, I'm gonna pull that thing in and use it like a physical Stream Deck. And then of course you can use it as a Stream Deck because you can use the punch buttons for mutes or doing any other macro settings that you want to set up. I mean, it's pretty cool. I have to say, I was kind of impressed with it. People are gonna make a mistake though. They're gonna assume, like he said, that it's a total GoXLR killer, and then lie to you about the interface or the amps and that you don't stop.
It's not that.
You can't. Yeah.
Hey, really quick, because I had this pulled up. I'm gonna go big screen for a second. Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
I just want to.
I'm moving around.
I want to show this really quick because I had it, and I just wanted to point it out to people. This is on sale again, okay, for $165. Now, when they had Prime Day just recently, it was on sale for $157, I believe it was. But this is still a really good price because a lot of times it's $195, $199. And this is the lighting system that I have, that Jeff's has, that I actually bought again last week, and it's going to be a gift for my son. Now, this remote, I've had it for almost a year now, and it's like one notch down out of 3 with the battery.
Battery's still going on mine too.
Yeah, it's been great. It's it hasn't really had any issues it's like really solid, and it's going to be basically 1/3 the price about compared to Elgato setup.
They're like the Swiss Army knife of, I've used these for so many different things.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of them.
And here's the thing. I think they're better than the Elgato setup in some ways because this alone, where you have the battery packs, you can
Yes.
add it,
Yeah.
take this remotely. Plus, you got all these knobs and switches on the back. Elgato doesn't have any of that.
You got to use an app.
You got to use an app. There's nothing. So this
dumb. I hate
it's the
that.
same technology. You can go through cool to warm. You can they're super bright, super flexible.
John, isn't one Elgato light like this $300?
One Elgato's 200.
Okay.
And so it's 400 plus tax. You're getting this for, 165 plus tax. I mean, it's a little bit more than half the price difference, but I just want to let people know about it because it's a steal and they're fantastic lights.
And they're not tiny. I mean, 15.4.
No, they're pretty good. They're
nice.
They're
size.
a pretty good size. I mean, these are them right here. So they're Dasney's D50s. Check them out. They're not small. They're bigger than the bigger Elgatos, or about the same. They're not like the Keylight, the small.
You want to know? Like, if you come back to my shot, I want to show you a trick that I did with them. So in this setup, my desk dropped me down small or smaller,
like that.
So it's hard to know, but like straight ahead of me is where my normal desk is that I do normal streams from with the lights behind me and all that. Right. So I'm a little bit shifted over. Everything is connected to the computers. I just turn things and my camera comes out on an arm, and that's great because I don't unplug anything. I record everything. I got a monitor, I got OBS and all that. Okay, fine. But lights, right? So I do have the softbox lights and I do love them. I have one here, but this is a Dasney, my key light.
Right.
And so I'm downstairs and I've got, and this is a basement studio refinished, but it still has the beam. So this light, I've got it clamped on the beam, John, and I'm sliding it all the way up and down.
That's brilliant.
It's just amazing for this. It's just hanging there. The wires connect. And so it's just been a fantastic, like, I love that. Like, you can just so multi-purpose that. I thought you'd get a kick out. I was going to send you a photo of how that's hanging there.
Yeah, I'd like to see that because, but here's the thing, right? And I gave Jeff this little tip here too. If you guys can see this video of me here, you can see where my speaker is. The JBL speaker. Look at the top of the speaker if you can. And this is how tall that these normally go.
Yeah.
And then what I did is I bought these little add-ons that lift them up this much further for cheap. So if you need something like this, let us know. I can send you the link if you end up buying these. This just extended it at about 12 inches.
They're
and
fantastic it too because they're so stiff. John turned me on to these and I bought two of them, and he's right. I wanted extra height.
There's one. But then
sometimes I use them for a lot of things, and they're just you can put them on any kind of pod.
Yep, I got it on the super clamp right here too, and this is with I put a little head on it, and you can bend these over, and they're very stiff, like you said.
You could hold easily an A7 III with that.
Yes.
Stiff as hell.
And so I really think it's been a great setup, and I love how effective they are in general, and I think they're worth every dollar by far. So
and the Dasney, they go really high enough, but if you do want that extra height, it is cheap just to go grab a couple. I bought two of them. I think like $12. I can't remember, and it just extended it another how many inches, like a foot, and it just was enough. But I just love how I can use those for other things. But yeah, I was sitting here going, how am I going to move that light? And I'm like, I'm just going to hang it up on the beam, and I can slide it all the way up and down. And it's just, I don't know. I love when things are like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just awesome as far as
Brian wants to know what you're talking about. Maybe he can't see that.
Yeah. Let me see.
I have them on my Notion, by the
way. So Brian, if you look at the top of my speaker here in this picture, okay, which is right here, I'll get up and show you. So right here is the top. This is where this joint ends, usually right here, where you see this little knob. Now, this is an extension that takes it higher and lifts this up an extra foot about. And it's actually this setup right here. It's a flexible piece of metal that you can put I use them for with a super clamp, and I use them for my camera with a little ball head on top, and I can move that around, clamp that down. You can use them to extend the lighting. You can use them for a lot of different really cool things. I actually move that super clamp with that on there and do an overhead with it. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with it that really work well. And so they're like about $12 each, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like
And
that. It was pretty cheap.
yeah, it was worth every dollar, right?
It is. In fact, talk about uses. I have my 5100 set up for a B cam for this thing today. And Brian knows because I showed him the shot. And it's just nice because I put it on a mic boom to get it tall. And then I needed to bend it. So I just bend it to get that shot I want. It's just,
Right.
It holds so stiff. It's a quality, man.
It's good.
Yeah.
This is my Aunt Lynn. She's stopping in to say hi. Thank you, Aunt Lynn, for stopping in and saying hi. She is over in California.
Okay.
So
she's got Pacific time going on.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. And John is heading now. He's getting sleepy. John, so are we. It's about time to end this stream. Which
is John.
This has been this has been a fantastic stream, by the way, people.
Start to finish has been a really great, informative, fun, community-driven.
It wasn't our most people ever showing up, but it was definitely, I feel like one of the best overall. Like you said, start to finish, solid.
Yeah, start to finish, solid. Great people, great questions, great chat going on over here, helping each other. I don't know. It was a lot of fun for me. It's good.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, you can always, CJ, on Instagram is the simplest, because Ash actually turned me on to messaging on Instagram. So if you're looking for me on Instagram, I should probably start something else. I don't know what I should do. I'm going to figure it out, but I have to and Aaron and I talked about this. It's either we got to make some way for everybody to make it more accessible for us all to get together for everybody. And that's why we were talking about doing a Discord, right? So we're going to get that started soon. I might work on that this week a little bit. So yeah. So John says, drop your Amazon link in the comments for the rig or in the description. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that with the lights. I'll add it. I'll probably add it tomorrow. So just take a look tomorrow, because I have to get to bed tonight, but I'll add the lights in there and then also the attachments and let you know. Because if I had like a whole plan out like Jeff does with Notion, it would take me 2 seconds.
I can do it. I can do it for you if you want.
No, I'm just saying that it's one of those things that I should be doing.
I just go on my gear list. The link's right there. I can take care of it. You're going to go the old school way and search it out.
Yeah, it's got a 1/4-20 on both ends. So, yep, right. Actually, I'll drop the link and you can just double check, but I think it's on both ends. Yeah,
I think it is too.
Yeah. I don't want to say something off the cuff right now, because I've had them mounted, so I forget what they look like.
I know, it's true. Right. I love them. I'm so glad you turned me on to them. And
it's just, people were looking for an effective way to go higher, because that's the plus about the Elgato lights. They go really high.
Or using the floor stands, but I didn't want extra floor stands. I really like having those on my desk.
Yes. The plus of having them on your desk is huge. And these are
hang them upside down.
These are mounted to my desk. And the thing is, I got 24-inch monitors, so my son's got 27. And so when you start having 27s, they were just creeping over from the reading I was doing, and they weren't high enough. And plus, if you're wearing glasses, you want them higher so you don't have the reflection in your glasses.
Or you don't want to just stare into them. I mean, even though you could turn them way down because they are so great.
Yes.
Just your eyeballs are right there. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting kind of eye fatigue. But it's not the light's fault. It's just that I'd like to have them a little higher for that purpose too, I think.
Yeah. All right. If you're heading off, I'm going to be heading off. Thank you so much for the great compliments and the comments.
Yeah, okay.
And
you can call me Robert. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Send me a short video. That's fine. Hit the like button. Thank you so much, Aaron, for saying that. I know I don't say it much. I always forget
to say it. And you guys are always so good about it.
Here's the thing, right? I'm just happy that people are here and people are coming in. I don't want to ask anybody to do anything that they're not comfortable with.
Yeah, and
if they do it on their own, if they do it on their own, that's a plus. But you saying it makes me, it's awesome. I love that.
It's a great gesture, right?
Yep, absolutely. So I love that. And you get some good sleep too. I'm going to get some Z's. I was really psyched about this whole setup. So
it's actually it's a compliment to call me Robert. So I'll take it. I go by any name. I don't even care. It's like, as long as someone's talking to me, I'm happy. I appreciate it. So
just don't call them late to dinner.
That's true. I like to eat.
So we had a great night though, Jeff. I'm like,
I'm so psyched.
it was
Yeah.
great because it seemed to be really good conversation.
You know, we had a
for-
great conversation even Tuesday. I thought, like,
Oh,
I just
yeah.
felt like we had a really nice. It was a small group, but it was a lovely conversation all the way through, and I'm just really happy that we're getting those people. I'm still watching because I want to see you two dance it out. Let's do it.
So there's one thing though I've been eyeing up, which is a standing desk.
Oh, we're not doing it.
I would love to do that.
Okay, I thought
Like
we
the
were doing
dinner,
it.
don't
I
call
feel
you Sam.
exposed. Oh my god, no! Stop! I'm already done with you. Don't do it. No,
You know, I was best dancer in 8th grade.
you had nobody there competing against you.
That's not true.
I think you were a terrible dancer
You know why they call me Smoking John Ryan? You know,
because you're always on fire.
because I was smoking on the dance floor.
Oh Jesus!
I'm just telling you, I'm not kidding. My friend gave me that.
I can't even. I don't.
He did.
You can call me Zan. That was a compliment too.
I'm a real good dancer. I was a
Make
ballet
Luria proud.
dancer.
Dance it out. It's kind of like hug it out.
I was a ballet dancer for years.
I know you're light on your feet. I get it.
They called me ton.
Good night to you all. It was a usual, another great stream. Preparing for my stream tomorrow. Great dancing,
Preparing
Jay. No,
Great dancing.
Lala, we need to talk because I got to find out if you want to do the Notion stream. I'm going to do a series of them, but I got to find out if you'd rather do it more at this time at night or sometime in the morning. We got to solid on that. We got to figure that out. So
Yeah.
anyway, we'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. I might do it more like this time at night.
John Pullum, haven't you noticed that I'm different? We're different than anybody.
I could
I
be.
don't want to
careful.
be anybody else.
Well, there's only like 10 different versions of people in the world. So
Yeah. That's why I don't take anybody's stuff. I try to do all new stuff.
You're original. You're an original.
Try to at least.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't be original on everything, but
We're all influenced by something. What I say, influenced originality. I think
Yeah.
that's my word now. That's my phrase. I'm
so
taking it. Don't take
so
it.
she did about 50
Wow.
plus card backgrounds using stencil.
Are you
Wow.
going to? Do we get our name on the? Because we helped her inspire her.
She's always doing stuff. She says
I know.
that, and she
She's-
did.
I don't get the feeling that Lala's ever really just sitting down, like watching paint dry. Like she's always got to be moving. Her metabolism, I bet you, is like a hummingbird. Is what I'm thinking. It's like,
So John's saying if we're not dancing, he's going to bed. Well, listen,
well,
I don't want to dance and have John's last thought of seeing us is us dancing, and then he goes to bed.
I
That's
danced
something
and that was fine.
a little creepy about that.
And wait, Brian, what did you call that? Oh, I thought he's flatulence. Oh, influ. That's almost too hard to say.
Influenza. Listen, I don't care about these words Brian's looking up. He doesn't even know what these mean.
No, we're making that word. It's originality through
I'm kidding, Brian.
influence. But this one's a hard word to say. Even I can't. Influencality. Dude, we got to work on that.
Infocloudy.
That's just too
Infocloudy.
hard, man.
Sounds like it. That sounds like it.
I can't do it. So we'll work it out. We're going to do that. Do some stretching.
Oh.
Get a dance.
Someone stopped in, and I really love this. We were just about to go, and this is cool. He says, "I feel sorry because you only have several viewers, but with high quality content. I hope you get more in the future."
Oh,
That's a nice comment. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with the numbers that we've had.
Yeah.
Because I see, you got to realize how small of a channel I am, and I see people that have 30,000, people subscribed, and they have 10 people watching, or they have 15. I mean, so to be honest with you, I'm happy, but I appreciate that because I think overall what you're trying to say is that we should have more people.
Yeah,
and I love that. So
right. It's just a compliment to say it. So appreciated that you said it. And a lot of people would stop in and never even drop that comment.
And I was going to say, like, you've never made a message here, and for you to stop in and leave this message is like a plus. And what I'm going to do for that reason is I have to drop the confetti for this.
Oh, we're going to get this our first confetti tonight. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because he or she deserved that. Because just to say that is a beautiful thing to say. So
that is. I love it, and I'm.
Thank you.
That's a great way. I'm so glad that we hung around to get that comment and
that comment.
some
yeah,
great comments tonight. I'm really
comment really was heart sent. And I feel that that's like really an awesome thing.
And know that we feel that, and we're just blessed to have and grateful for all the great people we've had tonight who are always are just amazing supporters.
Yeah.
And please don't start calling Jeff Robert. Please don't feel bad. Seriously, you can call me AJ, Robert, whatever. I seriously, like I told John and I talk about this. I have zero ego with this stuff. I don't care. I just want to have fun. I want people to have a good time.
I don't want it to be confused, because then I'm going to call you something different. I'll forget.
Do it. I don't care. Let's tell you. Pick a new name every week. Call me it. I don't really care.
No, that's not going to happen. Confetti destroys YouTube compression. Get it together, YouTube. I know it falls apart a little bit.
It does. It's just,
but I'm happy. It was free. It didn't cost me anything, and it's fun.
Yeah. So you did great, man. I love all you people.
Thank you.
Great. And Marlene, thank you for coming in and just always laying the groundwork of being somewhat. People don't understand having you guys come in here, and you constantly are here to support us, and not just sit here and support, but you also are the conversation. Thank you. It's amazing. Oh, here we go. Look, I don't even need all that animation. I can just.
Well, thank you guys. I really love it. I love it. Thank you. Vinny,
thanks, Vin. So great to see you, man.
Vinny, I have so many people that I'm friends with on Facebook, and not that I have a million or anything, but I really like the fact that Vinny stopped in here like 3-4 times now on these live streams, because he's taken the time, and it really shows me a lot. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
A tremendous amount. So, and Vin, you remember, there's not going to be anything about this maple syrup that I have to put an order in. I'm good for 2 bottles all the time, the big bottles, right? The big bottles, maple syrup all the time. Okay. So just make sure there's always maple syrup for us, because we don't use anyone else's. So
doing the cheer dance now.
He makes incredible maple syrup. So
I love maple syrup. My father-in-law used to make it all the time. It's great. That's all of that.
Yeah, it was a fun stream. We had a blast. It's almost hard to go because it's just everyone's like, it's so great, So JA's organic pop ups our next level.
That's right.
Yeah. So
take this stuff to the level.
Brian, let us know about Friday tomorrow. Let us know. And this way we know whether or not. And thank you. Yes, Vin. Okay.
I love that he called you Johnny.
He's the only guy, because my name is not Johnny, but he's been saying like this to me, like, okay, Johnny.
This is Vin. Like, do you call him Vinny?
Vin. I call him Vinny. Yeah, Vin.
Well, then
Vinny.
You got to be Vinny and Johnny. I mean, you have to give and take that. You can't just call someone Vinny and then
just don't call me Pancakes.
Oh, I want pancakes now.
Oh my God, my son loves pancakes.
Oh, I love pancakes.
But
let's all go to IHOP and get some pancakes.
I haven't been to IHOP in years.
Waffles are great too, though.
Waffles. My son likes waffles even more.
Hey, do you guys make waffles in the toaster, or do you throw them in the?
My wife bought. No, my wife bought a waffle maker on purpose.
Oh, yeah, that's the best way to do it, of course.
Yeah,
but like if you had to get them out of freezer, I just put them in a toaster. I'm not going to put them in a microwave.
My wife goes above and beyond for my son, like you can't believe. So, and for me, she cooks everything and does a hell of a job. So, but
I can't wait to come.
No way, we're not going to bed if we keep on. Listen, I kind of feel like if we go all night.
How was she? I mean, she's from Canada. Don't they fall asleep at 4:00 in the afternoon?
No, going more north in the hemisphere is not. It doesn't make you go to bed.
No, I think it does. Like you go to the North Pole, like it's like.
No, you freeze. You freeze. There's a difference.
You stop time. you freeze time when you get to the North Pole.
Sometimes that's what Santa says. That's why Santa never ages.
Maybe that's true. You figured out the key. How that guy?
Yeah, my key was I found out he was fake when I was 8. Ruined my whole life.
Oh man, there's got to be a whole bunch of kids watching right now. I can't believe you did that.
We probably have thousands of kids watching.
There's probably and they're just railing on us.
There's people on probably hidden. We might have another couple thousand.
Look
adults.
At these boomers talking about the grass.
Right, John, he hit it on the nail right there. John is Sub-Zero. Right, that's it. You got it.
Oh, he is.
Thank
Sub-Zero.
you. 265 pounds of pure Sub-Zero-ness.
No, that's not tough at all. Sub-Zero could be your MCU name.
It could be.
I gotta tell you, it was
off
random, and
my
I don't even know how this
lawn.
got. I don't know how this came up now. This
I
guy.
don't know either.
We were talking waffles and maple syrup, and then we ended up at the North Pole, and the guy not getting old anymore.
Right.
So.
It just goes though. That we had a fun night, and this whole thing right here, as we're talking, is an incredible reason why you have to realize it's not, if you overthink your content and you're just having a fun place where people can come in after we talk about the great stuff that we talked about, right? We dropped tons of cool stuff we talked about, but then we can come in here and spend another like freaking half an hour just talking about fun stuff.
We're streaming buds. We're going to hang out for a minute, and like we did, and we're going to talk.
It's just fun. It's just fun. So that's what it is. You know, fun.
After party. It happens.
That's it. That's where people want to be. I mean, that's the fact. Like, we just have a good time. And
you know what, CJ? If you're doing it right, if nobody knows how that topic got changed,
right?
We got it right.
We got it right.
That's when you know you're doing it right. It's like, how the heck did we get here? Where's my car, dude? You know, that kind of stuff.
Oh, my wife is still up.
See, you did it. You scored some points. Look at you.
Oh, it's true.
I know.
It's true. And like I said earlier too, and Jeff, I mean, listen, we're both older guys. I mean, if your wife isn't behind you to back you in this, it's not going to be feasible.
Not going to work.
No. So knowing what she does, and listen, when I get done, it's this late. She's like, she knows I'm struggling the next day, and things are rolling. But
now I know that our wives would get together and just bust our heads behind our backs, but they would do it with a loving laugh and coffee and wine.
Yeah, but that's the great thing, CJ. You don't have to have, you could start out with, it could be a simple topic. It's just like, what's your favorite game to stream? And then all of a sudden you got your stream rolling. And that's
you brought in the whole glass problem. You got things disintegrating at the beach.
That's it. Yep. Talk
worked.
About your glasses.
Next thing you know, we're talking about sand. I don't know.
And the next thing we're talking about roadcasters.
You got sand in my roadcaster, man.
Have a good night, Ash. Thanks for stopping by.
Great to see you. Great job on the vid. Congrats.
Yeah, she's young. She's young.
Yeah,
she doesn't know what it's like.
She's so young. I mean, I don't even know what it's like to be that young.
I don't even think I slept at that age.
No, I never slept at that age. I didn't start sleeping more until I hit maybe my mid early 40s.
6 a.m. I'm up 6 a.m. Listen, I used to get up at 4:45 every day before I moved for work. 4:45.
Yeah, no thanks.
I'm just saying.
Not a good time. You got sand where? I got sand in the crack of my roadcaster.
I don't want to hear this.
I knew his face. His face was like, oh, where's this going?
Yeah.
Where's this going?
I was like, where's the mute button? I got to get close to it.
We got to dump this, right? Oh
yeah. God, I got sand in the of my roadcaster.
Yeah. Got it. I knew I was going to get you. I was like, oh.
All right. Jeff,
kids.
Let's say goodbye to everybody. I'm not even going to go out solo. I'm just going to go. Let's go out together.
Let's go out together.
Yep. And thank you everybody for a great stream. And I really mean this. Like, I don't think you guys realize this. I know I say this all the time, but I don't think you guys know of how big of a deal is. I mean, we've had people like Chocolate Twist Yoga come in. We've had people like Filmtopia come in. We had Heather Ramirez stop in last week. It's like a lot of cool people stopping in just to say that, they like being part of what we're doing. And I love these people also, having people like Brian and Consistent Ash and CJ.
There wouldn't be a cool place for those people to come in if we didn't have cool people already here, right? So, there's no place to come to. We don't have you guys, and it will never be lost on us. So thank you so much.
I just can't tell you how blown away I am sometimes. I'm like, it's summertime. No one's going to show up. And then here got a bunch of people showing up. So I love it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic night. We'll catch you next week. And come in and check Jeff out on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll be back on Thursday. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Bald Ashley.
Yeah.